live? All right. Welcome, guys, to not the Slogging Serpents pattern for right now, but Dithra and
There we
the
go.
1001 Echo Shards.
Yeah. No, you're not.
All right, cool. All right. So, one take, guys. One take. So, right now, we're running with just John and Jay for right now. Hopefully, Kathleen joins us later in the session. We'll see. But have a little announcement, little kind of parting of ways and starting of new journeys. Assassination, or Kevin, has decided to strike a different venture. He's still a part of Admin 5 on his own channel, D&D Stalkers, and where he posts a lot more 5e based content. As going forward, at least me, I think the rest of Admin 5 don't really plan on doing very much Admin 5 live stream content. Still shout out to Kevin's Assassination. Good luck with his channel. Check him out as well. And then Knight is taking an extended break. She'll be back, and she will be here, I believe, on the end of this month, the last week of this month. But she won't be here for the campaign very often, at least for the foreseeable future. So that is that. But now that all that's out of the way, let's get started. So last time we left off with a one shot of Knave. I decided that Knave needed a little adjustments here and there to kind of fit the game that I want to, the story or the world that I want to present to the players. I kind of fit the style that I'm going for. So let's go into a much more fleshed out version of Dithra. And it's still, not where I want it to be, but I think it's where it needs to be for right now. So let's go over Dithra, and we'll give a little bit of more intro into Dithra, into the world itself, as this is the beginning of basically these players journeying into the world of Dithra, toes first. So let's start. So let's talk about the world of Dithra. So Dithra.
Assuming that our DM does not kill himself.
Hey, also, guys, bronchitis is a bitch. That being said, Dithra and 1001 Shards is the setting that me and the team have created. It's based on a more sword and sorcery style game with emphasis on player-focused storytelling. It's kind of one of the biggest boons of it is you guys tell the story. I just make the story between the world and see how you interact with them. The world is filled with these magical, wondrous shards of this fallen god or fallen creator. That those the balls in the vision can take these by force, and those that have taken these shards have imposed their will in the world and become greats. And those that have defined the world in the past and will do so in the future going forward. So, the biggest thing, the biggest start to this group in this campaign is that the group will start off as prisoners. Shout out to Skyrim of the Southern Empire. The Southern Empire has released an edict for all prisoners of the Southern Empire to be sent to the Silver Heel, which is a newly discovered island off the coast of the Southern Empire or the Southern Sands. So, upon doing so, all prisoners that are caught by the Empire will be sent there to repopulate and attempt to become fully productive citizens of the Empire and try to populate and make this Southern Heel, or not, this Silver here, a vassal state. So, this is a dark, dangerous, wild, deadly environment filled with threats like they may have never seen. So, we will start with the people of this world. I mentioned the Southern people. We'll go over that for all of you guys. You guys get a grip of just who lives in this world, who they are, and how they interact with each other, good and bad. So, the Southerners here are a much more chestnut, dark-skinned people. These people here are ruled by a really strong militaristic kind of republic, a militaristic republic ruled by these very powerful city-states that are surrounded by these oases that form these metropolises that compete for resources against each other in this harsh desert-like environment. The Southerners are known for their very strong bonds. They're very communal. They're very hardy. Known for the ability to stave off intense heat, desert sands, and all kinds of crazy injuries that most people consider to be impossible or tough to survive. They've known to come through. It's a little bit tougher than most. Resourceful. Um, being people of a desert, they're known to make use of what they have, and in doing so, they can survive with very little. And the little they have, they can make the stretch, adapt, and evolve into to. All right. So next, they are quite draconic. Not only are they known for their militaristic might, but also how they carry out this force of power. Banditry, people attacking trade routes, is a well-known thing that happens in the Southern Empire, and those that are caught in banditry, it's shown some of the most harshest treatments in the realm. Um, that being cutting off hands, sold into slavery to repay your debt, all kinds of punishment that would seem outlandish or draconic to other people. Um, they can be seen as xenophobic. Um, they live in very tight-knit communities and tight-knit cities, and those that are not a part of these cities tend to be seen as outsiders. Those that are not with their ways and with who they are as people and threats, as people like bandits and brigands and highwaymen have known to prey upon those that are not from these southern sands. And also, because of the general lack of resources outside of iron in the southern sands, they are known to be quite greedy people. They enjoy the finer things of life, even though they don't have very much to find in life. They tend to enjoy these things, and those that do have them form a very haves and have-nots like environment. Um, Despite all the positives and negatives, they're a very powerful group of people with one of the strongest militaristic forces, land-based militaristic forces of all of Dithra. So that's the southern people right there. Going over next to the Easterners, also known as the Islanders. Um, these people here are from the Eastern Archipelagos. They have over several hundred, some even consider 1,000 clans. No one actually knows how many clans there are. They just know that they just keep adding on to the number every year. That's what they say. These people are known for their large iron bark trees that trees that are known to be as light as iron, but have surprisingly similar durability and also penetration abilities. They use these iron bark-like trees to make vast ships able to sail in harsh environments and tame the seas, and compared to those that do not have these similar boats. They're very industrious. They have a coming of age ritual for the men of their tribes that at the age of 10, the child is to make a boat and spend a day out on sea and come back. If their boat isn't strong enough to make it, they weren't strong enough to be an Easterner. So from a very young age, they're taught to build, and build. Adventurous. Because their nearest neighbors are always a hop, skip, and a little boat travel away, they're known to travel and have a strong thirst for adventure. Opportunistic. They know how to. They know where deals are. They know how to make a deal, and they know how to get what they want when it's available to them. And this is a positive and a negative trait, depending on who you ask. They're short-tempered. They have a really fiery personality. Just in general, they love to build things and don't like people questioning their kind of their craftsmanship and their skill. Also, they're easy to insult just by either paying them less than what they think, or just honestly just breathing sometimes. Manipulative, manipulative. So these people here, it's kind of tied to the opportunistic. These people here are known to use their sharp tongue and their fiery kind of personalities to kind of charm and kind of bend truths and say things in very charismatic ways to kind of get what they want. This is also mainly a negative, but can be seen as positive depending on who you ask and what group. But this is what people, this is kind of what they're known for as a culture. I want to pause here and say these are all a cultural trait. These aren't racial traits. So if you're on Twitter, stop the thing right now. These are not just racially defined traits. These are the traits of the people that live in these areas.
And obviously, not everybody is that way. That's just kind of the cultural.
And they're not real people.
Yeah, that too.
Let's just make that clear. They're not real people or based off real people. So that being said, and lastly, they're considered treacherous. Not only willing to bend words to make you kind of bend to their will, and also willing to bend bones to kill you to make sure they get what they want. They're known to be your friend and join your crew and smile in your face. But if there's a bigger, better boat or a bigger, better deal, they'll stab you in the back, leave your boat, and let you die by yourself. They have a very the strongest will survive kind of mentality. And basically, if your boat wasn't the best boat, then I mean, you wouldn't expect me to ride on that, would you? Come on now. So that's Easterners are really hardworking, industrious people with a fiery, wild, and kind of almost like Wild Wild West Manifest Destiny style lifestyle, just in general. So I'm going to go over to the Westerners. These people here are a more fair-skinned people. These are these are fair-skinned people here.
The fun thing about audio adjustments and tuning
is that we do it
live is that we do it live.
We do it live. Is just okay. That works.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so guys, we do it live, guys. One take. So I appreciate the game. So first thing first. So the Westerners, they are a more fair-skinned people with a variety of hair colors, but they are they're typically known for their blonde hair. They are known for their exports of clay and bronze and large quantities of food in their open kind of forest-like country. They're known for their large farming cities, and also something cool about them is that they have very large, highly intelligent pigs in their cities that have the ability to talk. So a fun fact about Westerners is that they will never eat pigs. And so that's one thing there. But the Westerners are ruled by a theocracy, a 3-person council, and their focus is on agriculture, stone, and lumber. So, some of the traits they have are very religious, by kind of being ruled by a theocracy. Kind of makes sense. These people are led by this almost this prophecy kind of given down by the council that those that collect the 1001 shards together will kind of will reform their dead god, and they will rise and bring forth a new age onto the land. Almost all or most Westerners believe in this theory, in this myth or monomyth. Yes. And they use this as fuel to send out their they're shard bearers, and they're also their agents to collect all known shards. So that's kind of feeds back into their religion kind of thing. They're very tolerant of other people, just in general. They're very willing to open and deal with other people, regardless of their kind of ethnicity or creed. They don't really care about those things. They really care about just shards. So as long as you're not a shard bearer or you're trying to stop them from getting shards, you're a-okay in their book. As they believe in all people coming together to reunite as one underneath the fallen god, the fallen creator. They're very scholarly. In their search for shards and things like it, they have a natural inclination to research things and find things out, especially the more esoteric things. This ties into them being enigmatic. Not only are they, a bit out there with their whole religion, theocracy kind of thing, but generally speaking, they're very misunderstood by people that don't know them. They're known for their wild fantasy kind of, wild festivals. Wild festivals and strange rituals involving blood and dead people that throw a variety of people off. But nevertheless, they're known to be friendly as well. So take that as you will, depending on who you ask. They're very hedonistic. Because of the sheer amount of food they produce, they throw crazy parties. I mean, insane. People come from all over the world to come to some of their major festivals that they have on the world. So they're known for that, and individualistic. Instead of being focused on more of just like the community of just the West, they're focused on trying to find shards for the good of the world, but not just only them, but just for everybody. So they care more about how people live in a more individual kind of lifestyle than just only their community. So that's kind of the West there. And lastly, we have the Northerners. These are a very large group of people, as in physical stature, have almond-shaped eyes, long kind of black hair, and the men tend to be beardless. They live in the frozen north, or the frozen steppes, and they're known for clothing models as well too. They ride large, massive wargs, which are actually the predecessors of wolves that seemingly have survived in the frozen north. These wolves are about, I'd say a little bit smaller than horses, but they're much wider. So think of like a boar horse, but like a wolf. They're massive, and they ride these massive wolves into battle, shooting large kind of composite bows to the back of these wargs in their warlike games. So we got that. Yeah. So first things first, they're very warlike and nomadic as well. So these people collect in small tribes and travel to hunt game, and in doing so, they get in conflict with other people that are also trying to hunt game. And this leads to massive amounts of conflict. It is rare for anyone in their culture to live to old age, as they believe that those that have done so are typically speaking weak and are not warriors. And this includes men and women, because they both fight equally. Sadistic. This ties into the warlike and dying of old age thing. People of their culture tend to enjoy a much more brutal kind of lifestyle, taking pride in satisfaction into skilled kills and skilled plays of brutality. Example being shooting somebody in both eyes before they collapse off their horse. Is a game that is commonly played in battle in the north. That being said, they're very hardy. They're kind of harder than the Southerners, where the Southerners are much more capable of handling very intense heat. The Northerners are much better built for dealing with very cold environments. The temperature in the north can drop from anywhere from -10 to -40.
All without beards. It's a little odd.
No beards. No beards. Listen.
Grow up in the cold, no beard. They don't need
No
it.
beard. Yeah, no. Listen, beard for pussies. What they say, apparently. Brave. So this is good and bad. They will, if they think they have a chance to win, they will fight, fight, fight. They make for exceptional mercenaries and guardsmen. Maybe not guardsmen, but definitely mercenaries, and are constantly not brought, but sought out by merchant caravans for their willingness to put the life of those of their charge before themselves, in general. So if they take a contract, they will honor it to the best of their ability, especially if it involves war. So traditional. These people follow a very strict code. This does not mean traditionalist as in like a more modern like Earth America kind of style, but more of is they follow the ways of their people and the ways of the people that have been going on for thousands of years. And those that come there must adapt to their way of life because they do not adapt to theirs in the north. And they are also religious as well. They don't kill or eat or harm wolves, generally speaking. Even the wolves of their enemies, typically speaking, are taken in to help serve them and join me part of the pact. Now, the wolves that they ride may harm the other wolves, but they do not harm them, generally speaking, if they can help it. And that is all four groups, right, of Dithra. Now, there's some halves in there, of course, because they're all humans. There's some halves, there's some different, there's some minor ones. Those are the four major groups. The four major that we're going to be talking about.
So you're saying that there's some like East Westerners and some North Southerners and
100%. As far as like ethnically, yes, because they're all humans. They all can agree with each other.
Some people have traveled. Everyone doesn't just stick to their own land.
I mean, the Easterners are professional at that. They love that stuff. So that's kind of the world, right? It's a really kind of it's brutal. It's a very brutal place. It's not really like mega dark, but it's a brutal, real place that not everybody makes it through. Not everything's very pretty, and those that survive don't do so by pure brutality, and not by pure brute force, but more by skill, cunning, craftiness, and force. You need all three. It can't be done with his stuff in Specs of Living either. So we're going to go over now into character creation. So we're going to use a slightly modified version of Knave. We used it last time. We'll just go over it a little bit, but not very, very much. What does apply here is, does everybody have access to the sheets? They should know.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to start off with creation. So as far as ability rolls, we already did this before, but everybody roll your ability scores.
Are we doing it the same way with the what you get on each one all the way across for taken?
Wait, what?
So first we roll strength. We roll our 3d6.
Yeah.
That's strength. We're not swapping anything.
Nope.
Cool.
R-U-R.
Righty.
All this happens, I'm about to get some water because I'm about to fucking die over here.
John, you rolling real dice or John, you gonna roll real dice or you rolling
I'm rolling on the thing. I don't have dice next to me.
I'm rolling real dice, so I got me a 1 in strength.
There's a 3.
Damn, that's a nice 3.
That's not bad. My first character was stacked and then died instantly, so fucking God knows what's about to happen.
Right. Well, I got a 1 in strength and a 1 in dex, so
Dex.
2 and
Ooh.
con.
Well,
That's a hell of a roll. Jesus.
4, okay.
1,
3 in intelligence.
2.
Shit.
Damn.
5 in wisdom. Damn. And a 2 in charisma. Yeah, you got some stacked stats over there.
We'll see if I survive. This is, doesn't fucking matter if you get. Because you still get 1d8 hit points.
It's
Right.
This is a real thing. It's like, I got a perfect character. Gets hit in the face. Dies.
Yeah.
Nat 20 on the first attack. Yeah.
Well, not even nat 20. Sometimes it just be a normal hit.
Okay, so we're doing
Yes.
stats. What
Okay,
else has
so-
changed?
All right, so couple things. As far as starting gear, guys, you guys are prisoners. You don't get starting gear. You get your clothes on your back and shoes, and you get essentially 1 day's worth of rations. That's kind of what you start out with just in general. So we'll skip past all of that, and now, and then we'll go over to your kind of ethnic background. This kind of does apply to kind of how people treat you, how certain people treat you, and how certain things maybe open up to you depending on who you are. So I'll ask this: are you a Westerner? Are you an Easterner? Are you a Southerner? Or are you a Northerner?
Do we get to pick it, or do you want us to roll a d4? And
This is up to you. This is your choice.
I'm okay with rolling, to be perfectly honest.
Well, you can roll. If you want to roll, you can roll.
so-
I'm just
so
telling
let's-
you.
John,
Which
what
one is this?
I have him up on the screen in the same order that he rolled, that he talked him out: south, east, west, north. You want to roll a d4, and I'll work it left to right.
Wait, what?
You understand what I'm saying?
So what is 1? What is 2? 1 is.
Southern-
Let's
Sou-
go.
Southerner, Easterner, Westerner, Northerner. So 1 is south, is Southerner. 4 would be Northerner.
That'll work.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'll roll a 1d4.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Northerner.
Okay, you're a Northerner.
I'll pop mine up on here too. Roll it that way. And I'm a
You're
Westerner.
Westerner. Hey! Right, fair enough.
Westeros.
All right. So just note that in your like your background area, your like additional details area on your sheets. And now let's go over to professions. Open up your Excels or your PDF. This is not in Nave. Me and John hammer this thing out, but mainly John give it up to him. We just harassed, but John hammered this shit out for real. Because in Nave, the expectation is that you are a knave, right? You're this adventure person. Whereas in Dithra, that's using the kind of modified knave, you're just a person. So the expectation is different. So the backgrounds have changed. So instead of backgrounds, we have professions. How many professions there are? There are 20 of them. So I want everybody to roll a d20, and this is what profession you'll be.
Let's do it.
Nope.
What's 11?
11
An herbalist.
Hey, herbalist, Northerner. Wow. Okay. That's new. 2. Animal handler. From the West. Hey, you're pretty good with pigs. Or has some experience.
I guess so.
Makes sense. So please notate on your sheet, on your backgrounds, on your profession, and put novice there. And that's where you'll start. All right. Now we're gonna do HP. So roll your d8s.
Oh, here we go.
Right down the middle.
4. It's funny.
I got a 4 as well.
That'll do. All right. And now we're gonna go
That's our current HP and our max, right? I can't remember. We don't add anything to that, right?
Nope.
Okay.
That's what it is. And now we're gonna go over to like the just like body traits or body features here. I think you guys have done it before, but I can definitely pop it up here. It's the rollable traits here. So roll like you know the drill. Roll on these and see what you guys get. and let the people know.
Here you go, Jay, and I'll type out what you get. How
All right.
about
It
that?
was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1, 2, 3, 4,
6,
5,
7,
6, 7.
8, 9,
No,
9.
8 because you're not doing
9.
a background.
Isn't that what about the? Are we doing the misfortune?
Yeah, but you want to skip background because profession.
Right,
Right.
in that 4 on each side though, or am I just being fucking
8,
crazy?
9. 9. You're right. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, so 8.
4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 9 total. That's it minus the background.
Oh, all right. So 9 total
Yep.
slash 8d 20.
No. 9. Do one more. 9 is
Oh,
the
okay.
correct number.
Right.
All right.
Alrighty.
So you
So-
are willowy,
Mhm.
Oh, goody.
delicate. Scroll down a bit. Oily.
Okay.
Greased.
10 is
pockmarked.
greased.
No, wait, no, it's wait, hold on. I think we went down. Okay, I'm
1,
fucked.
2, 3, 4.
Go ahead.
Yeah, greased.
Go
You're
ahead.
oily and greased. It makes sense. He's slick.
Yep.
He's a pimp
Yeah.
named Slickback.
Yeah.
20 undersized.
Oh, jeez.
Undersized clothing.
That's funny though. I'm already willowy wearing undersized clothing.
Yeah, they're like,
Hey, guys.
you're a prisoner. They're like, this is what you fucking get.
You
It's
wear
like,
it. Just
like,
wear
sir, I
it.
can't feel
You're
my nuts
loyal.
anymore, sir. Ooh, okay. Just because it's ugly doesn't mean he's loyal. Doesn't respect on his name.
Cryptic speech.
Okay, that's really
interesting.
weird to be loyal. What are you, fucking embarrassed?
Misfortune is addicted. Did we?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
6,
alignment.
7. Let me count. I swear to God, I fucked. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I skip?
Alignment?
No, I didn't include
So-
an alignment in this one.
All right. So I'll run through these again. So 19, willowy,
Mhm.
delicate, oily, greasy or greased hair, clothing's undersized, loyal. Oh, vice. So it's not cryptic. It's vice and then speech and then
Oh,
misfortune.
Okay, I skipped. So loyal.
So 4.
was 15. So 4 would be cowardly.
Oh, goody.
You have a break over
And then
Uh,
speech
speech being a number 2 is booming.
and then misfortune.
Is abandoned with the 1.
here?
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we're doing
I'll
90
do the same
20.
thing for you now.
Thank you.
All right. 18. You are towering
Okay.
with a wide face. 6. Oily.
Mm-hmm.
Hair. 15. Oily hair. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Greasy. We're a couple greasy. Throw some
We're a
sand
couple
on
grease
us.
balls, man. 19. Torn.
Torn clothes.
Torn clothes.
Okay.
Your virtue.
Just.
That's 14. Is just.
Okay.
13. Prejudiced.
That 100% makes sense.
Makes sense.
Speech is quaint.
Mm. Okay.
And then 20 on your misfortune. You're suspected.
Okay. Get that written down.
Must be a win. Alright, so let me go there. Now, that is, now, I need all of you to roll, then I'll just do both of you, I guess. To roll a D100.
Give me that shard. Not today.
Not today, Scoops. Not today.
Nope,
We
not
were
today.
not the chosen.
We were not the chosen.
Alright, so That being said, give yourself a name. So as a Westerner, their name follows the tradition of of Gaelic. So Gaelic names, and from the north.
Okay.
Okay, the north, they follow a more Mongolian naming tradition.
Okay.
Also, side note for Twitter, this does not mean that they are based off these people. For the love of God, please, man. These are fictional people in a fictional place that hold no real ties to the real world.
Let's go to momjunction.com looking up Mongolian baby names.
Yeah, right.
Fucking. Here we go. Easy. Gan. Gan. Simple.
Sideshow Rock. There you go.
I have a token.
All right.
Okay.
Clap it down.
Yeah, I gotta get a token here quick. Sorry. I'm Alistair O'Malley.
There you go.
I'm gonna send to you Discord, Val.
All right.
I just have a plethora of just art in my library.
Hey. That's cool as shit, dude. Hey, I like that. That's cool as shit, man. That's so cool.
They don't have beards, but he's got a mustache. God damn it.
Hey, a mustache is different than a beard. Yeah, they got a little mustache.
Right?
Jesus. I said
typically
they typically don't have beards. Some of them do have beards, right? But not all of them.
Well, shoot, I may as well just use this one again. I'll just dump this in there.
Oh, that'll do.
This will work for a Westerner, I think.
That'll do, laddie. That'll do.
Edit, upload.
Let me try to remember what a novice herbalist can do. Ointments, pain relievers. Okay. Cool.
Right. And now, also.
There you go.
Also, so when you got captured by the Southern Empire, what was your crime? That is the next one. That's up to you.
What? You keep that secret?
Yes.
Or
yeah,
is that
it's all
known?
you. No, it is known because that's what you got captured for.
Yeah, so we would know.
Yeah, you know.
What is a...
So how crazy do they get as far as arresting people for crimes?
They're pretty brutal. They're like the most brutal.
They would usually execute you. So
yeah.
In the South.
So like murder might not be the best. They would just murder you, right? So just keep that in mind.
So broken curfew for a party.
Well, like, okay.
Come on.
Sure.
That's why I said, how crazy are they gonna get?
I got busted for smuggling.
There you go. All right, that works.
Hey, I was being stupid with mine, dude. Like that's why I asked the question.
Wait, hold on. Like, okay, so like,
yeah, it's a
what if I don't wake up for nap time all the time?
Right?
So what if I don't wake up on nap time? What if I'm a little late? No, but it works like that. It depends. Maybe we're in like an area where they have curfews. Every state is different. So yeah, I mean it could work. So.
I mean, yeah, for an outsider, they probably do have curfews for outsiders. They're like, yeah, we don't trust you. We don't trust you, white boys out there.
Yeah, I'll just leave it vague. Just leave it vague as curfew. You know.
All right, that'll do.
Or they called it trespassing. There you go.
He's sketchy.
There we go. I like it.
Just, at
you
night.
can see him at night. I thought you said they can see him at night. I'm gonna be dead as fuck. Like, hold on, wait.
Oh no. That's how they caught him.
Oh, wait, dude. All right, like, hold on, wait a second. Is that the wind? Oh no, I got you. So
is that the wind?
I was trying to smuggle some of those rare herbs.
Hey man, a little awesome sauce there. So, and whatever herb it is, you can name the first one because I don't have a name for the herbs yet. So you can say like maybe like it can be original, it can be nightshade or something like that, like a poison or whatever.
Nightshade makes sense. No. Yeah, we'll just say Nightshade because I don't know a herb off the top.
Yeah, that's just
some marijuana.
That's like they wouldn't care about marijuana like that. It's really just like poison and stuff. But yeah. So
some of that creeping vine, man. Some of that creeping vine.
So everybody has their characters, right? And if you're watching this at home, see how fast this took. This is an even more modified version of Nave that removed the equipment thing, but it added more stuff to it. So it's about the same time, in my opinion. It took about 5-10 minutes, especially with us fucking around for half of it. So, so if you want to try that at your home, shout out to Ben Milton and Nave. I'll send you, if you want to try it at home, a modified version of Dithra. You can fucking try it out as you will. So let us know how you like it as we play through it. So let me get you through the intro, guys. So you guys are a part of a ship leaving Kasari, and I'll put that in chat because this is
I get to reuse my continue on my notebook.
Yes. So you all left on the prison ship from the port of Kasari from the Southern Empire, and you were heading to the island known as the Southern Heel. And the Southern Empire city name Zedra. It's African name. I'll put that in chat. Zedra. So
are you making up your own names and forgetting how to say them again?
Nope. No.
Definitely not.
No, that was them putting names in the book that they didn't have pronunciation for.
So
that was wild.
Sorry, I stepped away to grab a pen. So we are prisoners aboard a ship named Kazara?
No, you're prisoners aboard a prisoner ship leaving from the port of Kasara, heading to the small island known as the Silver Heel, or just the Heel, to the city of Zedra. In the J is a D. Or like DJ, it's like a DJ.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just, the D is like invisible.
Landed, and the port is
Zedra. Yes. Yeah. Throw a D in there. Throw a D in there somewhere. It'll work. So, as you all are being led off this massive boat, I mean, you guys have been on this boat not very long, maybe like a week and a half. It's just off the coast, so at most a week. And I'm gonna roll a couple things in the background and see how your journey was.
While you're doing that,
we've been on the boat for a week and a half. You said.
Yep.
Okay.
When we're on the boat, are we is it crammed like shoulder to shoulder?
Oh, 100%. 100%. So the boat is stated to hold about 20 people, but they push it for about 30. So it's definitely above capacity.
And we're shackled and manacled?
Yep, to the wall in each other. So you guys are not like prison like this, but like hands, feet to each other. As if you guys were, basically indentured service slaves. So you guys are kept 30 person to a boat, and at the end of the adventure, keep in mind there are no bathroom breaks. So do it as you guys on your journey or pass around a pot. Like, hey, okay, you're done. All right. So
next,
it's a very brutal and rough environment. But let me see how your journey went here. Let me roll some things. All right. So for the first half of your journey on this boat ride, it was pretty uneventful. The waters were calm and the journey was quiet. You weren't attacked by any kind of sea creatures. And you would know, as being either in the Southern Empire for a while or heard of it, the waters near the Southern Empire are treacherous. they're known for very large sea creatures that are known to destroy ships. The creatures are the size of whales and have some seemingly intelligence to them. But for the first time, for the first month, for the first half, the first half of your adventure, to Zija was pretty well. The second half, you guys were attacked by pirates, or I'll just call them slavers. They make more sense. You were attacked by slavers, and Jay, roll me a D6.
A 2.
All right. Two of the guards were killed in the skirmish, but the slavers were also captured and imprisoned. So it went from 30 to 40.
You fucking idiots. I imagine just like giving one the boot who's next to me.
It's literally just you're like, oh sweet man. Now,
how does it feel to be locked up with the rest of us? Shit.
John, roll me a D10.
Coming up. 4.
4 of the prisoners die along the way, whether that be from sickness, ilk, whatever. The harsh seas were not ready for them, and they did perish. So that means that upon journeying to the shore of Zedras, the starting of 30 prisoners rose from 30 to 36, but they lost definitely 4 prisoners along the way. So all of the remaining 36 prisoners are filed out into this small kind of docking station here, and they say, as you kind of led through here, a dark-skinned man with long braided hair, with a pen in his quill in his hand, and wears the garb, seemingly definitely an army man of the Southern Empire, with this kind of almost like think of more like a Roman style armor. People that's watching at home. He as the people are kind of filed through and getting named and things like that, and getting their daily ration, they get to your character, John, and it says, "And your name is."
He spits on the ground in front of the man, and he grunts and does not say his name.
All right.
You're dead.
You get slapped. 6 HP. You fall over.
Okay. No. So the first slap misses you, as you're just kind of chilling. The first slap just kind of misses, goes right over your head. But you know he's not playing front hand, backhand. As you duck the first one, he goes with a backhand. Sorry, that's
that's a shuriken.
Get over here. He hits you with a backhand, smacking you. This is a D4, so hopefully this doesn't kill you, because it might.
Don't roll a 4.
Hey, just smacks you in the back, kind of shaking your tooth a little bit as he hits you with a backhand. Says, "You Northerners think you're so tough. Why don't you learn how to build roads properly?" And he spits on the ground. Now, what's your damn name before I just call you Northern Boy?
You see that classic move where his head's kind of pulled to the side and looks up. There's a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Gone.
And he nods and says, "Move along, prisoner." And he says, "Oh yeah, and here's your ration." And he throws this shit across into the fucking forest. Like, I'm talking like Tom Brady. Hunt.
He's got a perfect spiral on it.
So he throws that shit, dude. So, Gon, you do not start with the ration, as the other unchained prisoners definitely ran off to retrieve your ration before you could get unchained. And as they continue along, they get to your character, Jay. As you get led through, this guy here with the pen in his hand looks up and says, "Name." And you saw that happen too.
So he looks at him, looks out at the forest, looks back at the guy, and in this booming voice goes, "Alistair," and then sort of like ducks out of like he's gonna get hit.
He says, "Oh, you're a Westerner. You guys are pretty cool. All right. He says, "All right. You know what? I want to be nice today. I'm gonna hand you your ration." And he hands you your ration, and he unchange you.
Put his hand out somewhat slowly and take it.
Yeah, and it's just a bit of dried beef and a hardtack remaining from the ship. And he hands you this and says, "Good luck to you in Zija, and hopefully you use this second opportunity to start a new life for yourself. I suggest that you go to." As I go over my notes here, he says, what do you have a skilled trade or anything like that, or are you just some common layabout?"
Excuse me.
Animal handler, training pigs, training, all sorts of.
Oh, well, if you're good with pigs and animals like that, you should see. Let's see here. You should see Garen out there in the tavern. He's one of the main farmers here. Yeah, he definitely use a hand, especially one that can handle animals. I heard his boar is not his boar. His beast of burden is being quite unreliable.
You said it was Garen?
Garen. And he says, "All right, move along."
I appreciate the tip, and he'll kind of like twitch and duck to run off away from him, hoping that this niceness stays.
And you guys are officially walked into the town here. I'm gonna move you guys over now. Everything has a label. So as you get into this town here is about a medium-sized town. It has all the basic amenities here. The decree of the king of the Southern Empire. This happened a couple of years ago. So various people from various other parts of the world have come here to start a new life in this area here. This place known for its large deposits of metal and iron. So this place has every basic amenity here that you think of a town, especially a starting town, would need, including some things that you might not expect as well. This place has a very, you see a variety of people here, even though this is a part of the Southern Empire, because of the sheer influx of prisoners, especially from other parts of the world that have been captured by the Southern Empire for various crimes. This place is actually quite diverse comparative to the places you've seen in the Southern Empire that are very landlocked and very ethnocentric. And this is what you see in this place here. So I would ask you.
First thing I'm going to do, just having seen Gone on the ship, I'm going to walk up behind him and sort of slap you on the back like, the hell would you sit and fuck with that guy for?
He's a bastard. He's a whole rat bastard.
Well, now you ain't got no food.
I didn't want that piss. I can find better in the goddamn gutter. And he gives like an eyeball at your food, and you can clearly tell he's hungry as hell, but too proud to say anything. He's also, what are you going to do with your newfound freedom? He's just like running his hands over where the manacles left like pretty bad marks. I imagine both of us at this point have like
I'm
scars.
sure just, yeah.
A week and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you with my freedom, I mean, may as well see if we can find some of these damn god shards. That's what I was doing beforehand. But fuck, we gotta find somewhere to stay, something to eat, something else to do. Fuck me, if you're hungry, I'll split the ration in half and give you half of it.
No, you hold on to that. We might need it. First, I think we need to find some work.
Yeah,
You
I
said
got
you're an animal handler. You train pigs out in the West. Anything else that's more useful? Pigs are food.
Pigs are no, they are the pigs out there talk. Do they eat food? What the hell are you doing? Slap you upside the head just like lightly. Like, don't eat pigs. What the fuck, man?
Your pigs talk. You sure it's nothing wrong with you? You're the one who sounds sick in the head.
Haven't you ever been out to the out west before at all? Have you done any kind of other traveling?
Other than ransacking a few towns, no, I never came across any talking pigs. Maybe some of the Western ladies. He just laughs just crudely.
Got him.
Nah, I'm just
Yeah, I'll
fucking
give you
with
that one. I can't deny that. But to the same token, they're you know, it is what it is.
Nothing like a fat peasant. Mm-mm. Well,
Pheasant? Yeah, I'll eat a pheasant. Let's go. Let's go see if we can find a pheasant, man. I'm fucking hungry.
we need to find some work. We don't have money to our name.
Well, what is it that you do?
I'm an herbalist. I can make tinctures, healing salves, solve all kinds of different things. Medicine man is what they call me in my village.
How far away did he say that farm was for to go? Oh, you said go. He had to see Garen at the tavern, right? Yep, he was in the tavern. Well, should we just make our way through town, go see if we can figure out where the hell this fucking tavern is and kind of work our way from there? Or do you want to just meander for a minute, see what buildings we see?
I think we should scope out the town. That does. Hopefully, he's not going there. Or we can split up. I can take a look around town if you want to talk to the guy.
That sounds good to me. Where did we actually get dropped off at?
So you got dropped off right. So this is where the kind of processing area was, and this is the docks is further east.
I'm just gonna drop token. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just thinking the same thing.
It's not accurate as far as like size. I didn't change the size. It's definitely not 20 feet.
You're good. We can use our imagination.
Imagination. I'm like, oh, this is 20 feet away, rolling around. But yes. So.
All right, I'm gonna try to drop a token.
Did it break again already?
Goes.
All right.
There it went.
Instantly broke.
Instantly breaking my tokens. I just have a knack for that.
Okay. So what you do see here is obviously this is the massive kind of dark tower here. Let me describe that to you as you pass it. Hold on. Where is my... Okay. So this garden here is a massive building here. Straight up and down. It has a small garrison of guards here. Most of them happen to be Southerners. Hair and various styles of braids is kind of traditionally the style the Southerners typically kind of wear. And they're also their standard, almost like Roman-inspired above table, Roman-inspired armor from heavy, medium to light. You also know as well that the traditional weapon of the Southerners is the spear. Spear and shield combo is pretty well known among their troops. That being said, to the south, you see the Ministry of Shardry. The Ministry is a vast, almost awe-inspiring place here. This place is known to be filled to the brim of books, scrolls, and other ancient texts. Is a place of learning and discovery, a place where one could find the answers to even the most obscure questions, if one can afford to be here. But the one true purpose of the Ministry is the collection of magical shards, the ancient glowing pieces of crystal that are the fallen pieces of God. This is the Southerners' kind of similar quest of way of dealing with the shards. They don't seek to revive the god; they just want to collect them simply for power. In general, this place is guarded by powerful shard bearers and people that are tasked with the knowledge of it. So that's kind of what you know. It's this massive stone-like building. This thing is extravagant. That's kind of what you see as you pass it.
Have you ever heard of a shard bearer?
I have actually. Part of what growing up, my culture, my customs believe that if all the shard bearers can pull all the shards together, we can actually reunite them and bring back the gods.
That's a foolish thing. There is no gods in the shards, but they are powerful. I will give you that.
It was a god that exploded, or something, rendered into millions of pieces. Where else would these things have come from?
Where did you come from? Where did the earth come from? Where did the wolf mother come from? The same place. We all came from the black void, and here we are now. I try not to think much about it.
You gotta believe in something higher than yourself, otherwise you go crazy, don't you? Oh wait, yep. Okay, I see it now.
It's like all I believe in is the next meal and the next battle. Speaking of,
I just believe in the next party. But anyway,
hey, I'm not going to stop you. So when we see these guys, do they give us any kind of mean mugs? We're both outsiders.
Yeah. So think about it. You notice that this place is filled with people in very similar clothing to you, because you guys all wear the standard like prisoner outfit.
Mm-hmm.
There are dozens of people out in this city here that have similar clothing to you. That have come here maybe days before, maybe even sometimes even hours before you got here, because your ship that got here was not the only prisoner ship even to get to Dithra today.
Yeah.
Is there anybody around us that has clothes that are way too baggy for them?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yes.
Tradesies.
Yes.
Hey, walk up to one of them. Hey, you would you want to like swap? At least like this thing don't fucking fit me, man. We want to swap.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d4 to see who he is. Hold on. So I'm gonna go. This might matter. Hold on. I'm gonna go d4.
Yeah.
What I roll?
2.
Easterner.
He's an Easterner. All right. So he's an Easterner. I'm gonna roll something in the background. I'm gonna whisper something. Actually, matter of fact, roll me 2d6, Jay.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
There you go. All right. So this guy says, "Of course," and this guy's a rather large man in general, but he's shorter, so the clothes actually would work for him. And he takes his clothes off.
I mean, the underside thing, he starts like pulling up, trying not to stretch it out any more than it already is. Stripping this thing off.
And he says, "My name is Ignacio," and he would kind of extend his hand to you.
You said Ignacio?
Yes.
Ignacio.
Am I saying that
Alistair.
right, John?
I mean, that's one way to say it.
Don't get canceled. I don't know.
That's the way to say it.
Hopefully.
The lisp is more like Spain, España.
All right, well, we're gonna figure this out together, guys. But yes, his name is Ignacio. Yes, that's what he says his name is.
Ignacio.
And
Alistair O'Malley. How'd you get yourself here?
I was a horse thief, and we docked our boat out in the capital, and it was a horse, and it was untied, and it was kind of running away, and I was like, why not take it? And come to find out, somebody a noble was teaching their son a lesson about keeping their horses guarded, and I took it and got captured. And
you're lucky you have your life. To steal a man's mount is next to heresy.
But it was just it wasn't even. It was free. If you can't protect your horse, then it's just free.
Well, it wasn't free. I guess you're paying for it.
I would say I will say that they need to learn how to train their animals better to just not be standing by themselves too. Like, get the fuck back home.
Hey, I'm not sure about animals. Sound like one of your skills.
Hey.
Looked at you.
Speaking of,
Holy,
how long have
holy
you been
cow, man! He kind of steps back. He sees you. He's like, "You're gonna eat me, are you?"
here? I might.
He might.
I don't have it. They threw my rations in the woods.
He's like sliding back. Also, so you learned something new. Easterners think that Northerners eat people with their wolves.
He's not going to correct that
That misnomer.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like, you learned the new word. Yeah. And he looks at you and says,
He's also towering, so what it would be?
yeah.
What is it,
Yes, I'm saying
6'5" or something? Just
yeah,
big
like
dude.
this guy is every bit of like 5'4", right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. He's every bit
And
of 5'4".
I'm probably like right in the middle, like right at that 5'10".
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's sitting here like, okay, what do you want, man? And he's like 5 feet away from me.
How long you been around here? Do you know much about this place? Were you
I've been around here 2 days.
Then you know where the tavern is, yeah?
Oh yeah, of course. It depends. Looking at you, he looks you up and down and says, if I was a man of your stature, I would go to the Filthy Seal.
Why is that?
Because it takes undesirables there. And he looks you up and down.
He smiles and his teeth are bad. They're like bad. They're bad. They're bad. Yeah, like
bad.
one of them's like rotted out. It's like discolored. He's like, sounds just like the place for me then. Good man.
All right, he claps you on the back and says, all right. And then as he attempts to walk past you all, he turns to Alistair.
Hold on one sec. Do you know? Just before you walk off? Do you know a man named Garen?
The farmer?
Yeah.
No, I've heard of him. Yeah, so
I told you he was in the tavern. So I don't know.
Well, he's definitely not in the Filthy Seal. I heard a lot of the unskilled labor people go work there in the day for an honest day's meal. No room and board. So it's for suckers, what I say. Just for a meal, you're gonna work the day away. He smiles and says, "That sounds."
What do you do to get food?
A bit of this and a bit of that.
That sounds very cryptic.
He steals horses. Didn't you hear him?
He just smiles.
I kind of look around like, is there any horses in here?
There's a lot of meat on the horse.
Yes. He says, well, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you need something, find me. I usually hang around the Filthy Seal as well, just not at nighttime. Because that's what people like. That guy show up. I'm not a full Filthy Seal. I'm more of a kind of in between. He looks at
so. You said that there's another tavern besides the Filthy Seal. What's that one?
Oh yeah, of course. And he says the Windy Hawk. That's where people that have money and are actual citizens tend to go. They accept non-citizens or prisoners in there to, as long as you have coin. But if you look undesirable or dangerous, they just straight up won't allow you to enter.
You said the Windy Hawk, like the
Windy
bird.
Hawk. Yep, he nods.
God damn.
Well, I appreciate the help. Well, if we need anything, we'll definitely come find you. I mean, have to get a little bit acquainted here. Who knows? Maybe we can start throwing some parties before too long.
He says, well, if you live long enough for me to remember your name, I'll see what I can do. And he bows and he says, bye. Also, he pulls you aside. Make sure he doesn't eat you.
Yeah, give him that little look back at him really fast.
I prefer dark meat.
He looks at you. And he would give you directions to both of those places as well too. You know that the Filthy Seal is literally just right down the street from the guard tower. The guards, typically speaking, don't really bother it because long long as the danger criminals are not bothering anybody, it saves them trouble from having to deal with them. You know that the Windy Hawk is further south and then further west down the street as well.
Okay. Well, Gone, are you heading to the Filthy Seal? I figured I'd at least go try and, I don't know, maybe figure out a way to make a little bit of money on just getting here.
Yeah, we
Got to
need
do something to find some food.
we need money. We need work. You do that. I'll check out this Filthy Seal. Maybe there's some work, but maybe I can find a place where I can actually use my skills. Do you want to meet up later at a certain place before anything's said and done?
Absolutely. Maybe give it. What time is it when we got off? You said
It is 12 p.m.
Want to meet back up
so
in
it's,
about 3
so
hours?
It's noon. Yeah,
Noon.
What's worst case scenario? Yeah, let's say 3 hours. I don't know what.
Right here.
Right here. Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
cool. And then as we kind of part ways, I'm gonna actually, knowing that it's south, head this way because he's gonna kind of take another little not leery, but little just passing eye of the Ministry of Shardry.
Mm-hmm.
Just as he walks by, just trying, because when he got told it was, a place for books and scrolls and learning, and it just kind of piqued his interest for a second. And so as he walks down this way, he's just gonna sort of kind of eyeball it nonchalantly, but trying to just get a read on the place, if it's well guarded, if it's
this place is extremely well guarded.
Yeah.
You see that in front of it, it is 4 soldiers. It's like a classic it's a single door in the front, single door in the back, and there's several windows kind of about. You know that there are 2 guards in the front, 2 guards in the back. Just looking at these guys seem like veterans. These guys have seen some shit. Each of these guys are older than at least 25, and in the life of a soldier, that's a very old man. These guys have definitely seen some shit. And these people, each of them have bronze weapons, so they don't have your standard crude iron weapons. They have very nice weapons. Okay. But you also know as well too that all of them are Southerners.
Is there, just in that cursory pass, people going in and out, or does it look there's a lot of activity inside, or does it look like it's something? You
have not seen anyone go in and out of that building. You guys were talking for about, I say, 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
And so too, you also passed the Temple of the Three, which is the religion of your people. So let me describe that to you.
Okay. Knowing that, he'd kind of turn and
this is like hey,
as he's walking by.
So this temple is a grand, imposing structure built of marble adorned with intricate carvings and golden decorations. This is a place of worship and devotion where the followers of the fallen god come to pray and offer their offerings. You see that this place here is guarded by Westerners, people that look just like you. It's not. These people don't look as skilled. They have bronze weapons. They have iron weapons, so standard weapons that anyone has here. And they also wear the symbol of the 3, which is the symbol of the church state combined together. But this building, it looks like they spent like hundreds of gold pieces to make this building. This building is very nice.
Okay. Well, yeah, he'll bow to the building as he's walking by, because he's sort of knows that he needs to at least get something established before he kind of walks into a place like that. If he happens to see somebody outside or he catches the eye of one of the guards, he'll just sort of kind of bow to him, knowing that they're probably guards more so than prisoners. So he'll just kind of bow his head to him a little bit, but make his way to the inn.
All right, so I'm gonna cut to Gon here.
Yep.
Gon, as you walk down the street as well, you also see a large building on the other side of the Filthy Seal. This building here is it literally has a picture of a large black cat holding a purse on it. This is definitely a jewelry shop. You can see it's a small but it's a luxurious place. Um, Filled. You can see because like the door is open. There's a variety of gold and things like that. Gold and diamonds and all that stuff is in there as well. You can just see it. Um, what you also see as well is there is a single guard and a merchant inside of this building here. Uh, as a northerner, you have experience kind of measuring up people because you've been fighting all your life. I would say give me a wisdom check and see how well you can satisfy it. You would have experience with that. You're just a warrior. All of you are warriors uh, by default.
11.
With an 11, this man that you've seen in front of you is not a normal just base guard or warrior. This man has experience. This man is in his mid 40s. You know, being up north, that people that live that long are either very weak and are kind of conniving tricksters, or very skilled warriors that have beaten all other people and have not grown old enough yet to where their age outpaces their skill.
In the back of his mind, he looks at this. He's like, just you wait. These riches of this town will be mine one day, but I will bide my time, and I will give him his due. And he just passes by. He's not really enamored by the riches as far as like wearing it and all that sort of thing. It's more of the power that it represents. But he's also pragmatic. When he sees it, he's like, if I steal it, you know, I could take it. Even if where am I going to go? I have no place to sleep, no place to sell it. It's like I would be a fool, but
right.
But I do know where it is.
That's fair. You also pass the Filthy Seal Tavern. You see that it is a mermaid-looking, seal-looking creature on the sign here, in a very provocative pose, with a beer placed in a very provocative pose, like Jessica Simpson's car wash scene.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's
for
when
science.
The Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah. Whew.
Like, yeah.
Those Daisy Dukes, man.
Yeah. So
hey, she didn't wear him as well as the
scene.
original Daisy.
I'm not going to kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
Yeah.
I never said that. All I said was that she didn't wear him as well as the original Daisy.
He's the hold on, wait, you get a sandwich? No, I was playing. But no.
Is the place raucous? Like, are people getting turned up already?
So as you kind of enter here, there is 2 guards that look like definitely prisoners. One is a northerner. He looks like you, a little bit taller actually. Mm-hmm. He's about 6'8". This guy is beefy. This guy's 6'8", maybe about 280, 290.
Would I recognize him from one of my clans or anything?
Give me a wisdom check. And he does not have the marking of your clan as well either.
Does he carry a weapon?
Yes, a large club that has iron bandings around it on the end of it. Beside him is a southerner. This man is about 5'8", short, stocky, and he also has a spear. But he definitely doesn't look like a guard. He looks like more like a prisoner. He has an iron spear and a crude buckler on his side. And as you approach, he looks at you. He looks you up and down and says, the southerner does, and says, "What do you want?"
I'm looking for work. Yep. Do you know any work I can find?
I don't work, but the work's not for the weak and the foolish. And we earn our keep around here.
I may look foolish, but I'm definitely not weak. What kind of work do you have?
He says, "Well, how do we know you're not working for the guards?"
Look at me, man. He just looks down. He's wearing piss and shit-stained fucking clothes.
Roll. I say roll 46.
46.
I'll take the better of the two.
All right.
This makes sense.
Oh.
12.
Oh.
Okay, so he looks at you and he says, "Man," and he pulls you in close and says, "Man, I've been there. Bring it in, man." And we'll show you to the boss. And then the northerner looks you up and down and says, and he really isn't feeling you at all. He hasn't said one word to you. And as the southerner kind of leads you, the northerner is behind you, almost like a pincer formation, make sure you can't escape or something like that. And as you enter this large kind of tavern here, this thing is like a den of depravity here. You see, there are various people doing various medical things that definitely are more for drugs. Basically, it's drugs. People doing a variety of drugs here. There is definitely prostitution, male and female here. There are people doing all kinds of games of chance, and then people definitely discussing all kinds of dark deeds here. And he kind of leads you all past these things, way in the back, into like this little corner here. You see that in his corner, there is this large, large, pudgy Easterner here, much more bigger than Nathia. This guy's pushing like 320. 5'7". He's got a big dude, and he's sitting here, and his hair is clean, his nails are clean. This guy, this guy probably hasn't worked in probably months, but he has the brand of a prisoner on his neck. He has various rings, and you also see as well there are a variety of women beside him, and around her there are also men that look very similar to him as far as their dress and stature. You see that the southerner that was leading you to him says, "Hey, boss, this guy here says he's looking for some work. This guy definitely ain't working for the guards, man. This guy here's he's definitely been through it, and I've been through it. I'll vouch for him." And he looks at you and he says, "What's your name, Northerner?"
Gone.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. And he says, "My name is Rodrigo." And he extends his hand to you.
He'll shake his hand out of formality, but say nothing.
And he says, "What skills you have? We need a lot of different skills here. We're definitely growing the gang, and anyone with that definitely skilled is definitely useful. But if you're unskilled, definitely put your hands to work."
I'm familiar with weapons. Closer the better. But I'm a trained herbalist.
And he whistles, and he points to, and you see definitely like 3 women approach. There's a yes, and they say, "Get a couple of shahimi mushrooms," and you know these are. I'll explain it to you in a minute. And they immediately rush over and come back with a small bundle of mushrooms. You know, these mushrooms, when ground up and infused with water, and kind of inhaled, produce a very pungent smell that has intoxicating effects. And I'll put this in chat. The name of the mushroom.
Would you mind giving me an empty
Carrot sheet,
handout? Yeah, just for the herbs and stuff, because I'm sure
Yes.
it'll come up at some point.
It will definitely come. I got you. No problem.
You'll probably need it as well. I've done an herbal system in a game, and I thought, what was the recipe?
Yeah, I was like, hold on, wait a sec. Yeah, I got a couple. of the main ones down. Sashimi, and the eye sound too. So sashimi and you know, these mushrooms are actually from north. They're very hardy mushrooms, because of the lack of just trees there. That the droppings of the game that live up there, the mushroom actually grow on them. So that's why I would say you there's no need to roll. They're from your thing, and as an herbalist, you definitely know what they are.
Yep.
So it would tell you to grind these up and hand you a glass of water and tell me how good it is. Oh, well, that's how good. Grind it up, and I'll see how good it is. So, I would like for you to give me, I'd say this probably either be a wisdom or intelligence check to see how well you do this. And I would say it's your choice as an herbalist. Or whatever is better. Makes most of your character. Then 11. Oh, that beat the DC. So, as you do this, you grind it up, you infuse it with water, and slowly grind it up, just drop, 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 drop. And it takes you about 10 minutes. It's a very slow, methodical process, and it becomes pungent. It's really thick, almost like mossy, damp smell begins to kind of fill this immediate area around you. And you see Rodrigo smile, and he says, "That smells good to me. Bring it over." All right. And he says, "Chop it up and lay it down." And you know what that means is to really kind of activate it once it's been kind of mushed together is you need to kind of take a sharp object and kind of cut into it. And the cutting into it and kind of releases some of the kind of toxic
Do they
fumes.
smoke it? Snort it?
No.
Like, how do they ingest it?
They inhale it. So the water releases, once it's ground up, the water allows it to release these kind of powerful toxins, and they inhale the toxins. Or not toxins,
Spores?
particles.
You're inhaling
spores?
shit mushroom spores.
Yeah, shit more spores.
But they get you high.
Gotta get high as
High as a motherfucker.
And
Pineapple
as you kind
pie
of
in
lay
the
it
sky.
down, he just kind of leans over there, and like his nostril is on the mushroom, and he's just like,
Comes up cross-eyed, fucking drooling. I just imagine. I imagine it's like that slow mo from the movie Blow with
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, where he's like, he comes up and it's just like,
yeah. And Rodrigo looks at you and he says, "Well, we can use you in the kitchen." And he says, "Sit him in there with the girls, get them started, and help out." And he says, "Hey, we pay a very fair wage here. So we pay 5 copper a day, starting out. And we also do room and board here too. Just pop a squat, whatever's clever to you. We don't do food. Fucking find your own food or buy it. You have money." And he says, "I was like you when I started, but I've worked my way up and formed my own gang." And he hands you 5 copper pieces to start. And he says, "Show up tomorrow. And if you don't show up, I'll fuck your skull." And he looks at you.
So be it. And he'll follow the girls, not say a whole lot. He knows the
Yeah.
drill here.
And you follow the girls there, and you see that there is a massive stash of a variety of definitely narcotics here, basically. They put you
It's
on
fucking
the
episode of Narcos. He's walking.
Yeah.
The tables are all like everyone's
Yeah.
processing
It's like-
stuff.
Yeah, it's like so they'd have you grinding mushrooms, basically. Not infusing them with water, but just grinding them up in a very, because basically the better the ground, the better the higher the high, basically.
Yep.
So they have you do that, and we'll cut over to Alistair. So
What was the name of the? Rodrigo. I got it. Never mind.
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you are going to the Windy Hawk, and
Yep.
as you kind of get over there, you see that there is a Southerner and there is a Westerner here as well.
outside.
Yep, as guards.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
You see that it is a female Westerner here. She has a large hammer in her hand, using it two-handed, and you see the Southerner has a spear and shield as well. And as you approach, they say,
Just
"Hail."
before I approach, he tries to knowing
presentable.
from just knowing what the guy had said, that the filthy seal was more of a, dive bar, where this one's more of a, chic bar, if you want to say, right? Like he tries to smooth everything out and like takes the his greasy hair and sort of kind of puts it back, trying to get it just slicked back enough to look good. Like walks up, starts walking up to him.
All right. As you walk up, they say, "Hail," and she says, "Hail, brother." And you know that Westerners, as a member, tend to call each other as brothers and sisters, as you all are brothers and sisters underneath God, basically.
Yeah. And he'll do, "Heil, sister." Do the kind of, I imagine there's like, almost like the Roman,
And the Southerner rolls his eyes and says, "You Westerners. Okay, so what do you want?"
I was told that there was a farmer who spent his time here, Garen, who had a little bit of issues with an unruly farm animal. I'm kind of fresh off the boat here, just looking for work, so I was hoping to just speak with him, see if there was something I could do to help.
Well, I'll fetch Gary. You smell like shit, so I'll fetch him, and you can talk to him here.
Fair enough.
He goes in. He goes back into the tavern here, and you see he comes out with a really older salt and pepper, not salt and pepper because he's blonde as shit. Salty beard, short cropped blonde hair. This man has the look of somebody that's definitely done a lot of, especially farm or hard work in his life. He comes up, this man's in his mid-50s, and he says, and he's definitely a Westerner. And he says, "Hail, okay. Hail, brother."
Hail, brother. I was told by one of the guards getting off the boat that you have a farm out here.
Oh, yes, I do. Are you looking for work?
I am. My profession before this was an animal handler. I trained our pigs. Dogs, birds, things like that.
He nods and says, "Well, I've been putting out the word for somebody of your skill set. So my cow has been been very trepidatious on her front left foot or hoof. She's not wanting to do any plowing. If you can see what's the problem and how I can fix that, I would appreciate it."
Does it appear lame, or is it more mental, stubborn?
I'm not sure. I myself just typically run it, run the farm, and have the workers kind of manage and actually use the animals. But my supervisor came up and told me that the beast of burden was having problems. So I am not sure myself. You have to talk to my supervisor or see it yourself.
What is the pay for assisting with something like this? I mean, all I have to eat is this, and he pulls the ration out to him.
As soon as he pulls the ration out, he grabs the meat and he throws it on the ground. He says, "That's pig."
That's why it's not been eaten yet.
Yeah, and then he would reach in his pocket and pull out some beef, some dried beef, and he would hand it to you.
Thank you.
And he really crushes the meat into the ground, like specifically, brutally. And he looks at you, and he says, "Oh, as a brother of mine, I can pay you a fair wage for this task, which would be 2 copper pieces initially, and if you do good work, I may take you on to help definitely maintain some of the animals that we have there. It's not the only one, but it is the main one. My other cow had just given birth, and she cannot plow."
Okay. When would be a good time to see the farm, see what is the name of the animal?
Cow.
Cow?
Yep.
Good name.
Oh, name the animal. He's the guy. He didn't name it. He said
cow.
He was like, just a cow. He didn't name nothing.
Okay. What about where is the farm? When would be a good time to swing by, talk to the supervisor, and see the cow, see what I can do to
Are
help?
you busy now?
I do have to meet somebody. What time? How long has this all been going on to get there? And
Maybe 15 minutes.
okay, I have a couple hours. I gentleman that I got off the boat with, we've sort of at least conversed. I'm supposed to meet him back at the. Would you consider that like a town square or just the entrance block, or what would you?
The
How would you
entrance to the
describe?
town. The entrance.
Okay, I have to meet him back at 3. At the entrance of the town, at least just to let him know what I'm doing. So depending on how far away.
Well, it's about an hour's travel outside of town to my farm. And that's just there. So there and back will be 2 hours. It sounds like it'd be an inconvenience for you. Does tomorrow work for you?
Tomorrow would be preferable just to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Although I will say I gotta find a place to stay. And he just sort of kind of looks around like,
all right. I will roll something here. I'll see here. Let's see here. One second here. One second. I'm gonna roll some here. All right. He looks at you and he says, "I normally don't do this, even for brothers under the fallen, but you seem to have a good spirit about you. Tonight, I have a spot behind my house. I can set you up some hay there and give you a blanket, because I don't know you from anyone, but I can give you a blanket and a nice warm bed of hay, at least till tomorrow, and see how you do your work."
Is your house at the farm or is it? Oh,
yes, you're not.
So then I'll tell you what. Let's do this way rather than waiting till tomorrow. Let me go see if I can speak with my ally, and I can at least get out there tonight and take a look at the cow tonight. And I highly doubt training of this animal to see what's going on is going to be potentially a one-time 10-minute thing.
He nods. Says,
at least take a look at the cow, have a sleep, and then figure everything else out tomorrow. How does that sound?
He nods and says, "It sounds agreeable to me. I will see you tonight. You can't miss it. If you take the southern road outside of town and follow the road out, my farm is the first farm you see."
First farm. Thank you, brother. And it'll do the bow, and so that way it's not like crazy. He'll start walking towards where he had been told about the filthy seal, at least to see if he can try and spot Gone and let him know his side of it.
That makes sense. Gone. Do you keep track of time? Because there is not like watch or anything like that. They just put you to work.
No, I mean, I would assume that he got some kind of basic cleaning or something, like washed his ass.
Oh yeah. Like the dude would have fucking
hosed him down.
He would have handed you some fresh clothes. So he would have some fresh. He would have sent you back there with the girls.
Deflees you like Super Troopers throwing the flour on you.
Yeah, spraying you out.
Honestly, no. Gon wouldn't even think about the time. I would say he's the kind of person that's absorbed in work so much so that, like, at this point, he's just a hard worker. He is blasting through. He's looking over other people that are producing, and he's trying to just go faster than them. Match them or go faster without. But he gets into the zone.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So I would say this. Because there is no windows where you are either, so it's not like you can tell what kind of the sky from like that. I would say you would get stopped at 5 for dinner, which is 2 hours later than the meeting you were going to have. So I would go back to Alistair here and say,
is he coming? Is he coming by to the sky? I'd love to see.
So that's why. Are you leaving or what are you doing here? Because he did not show up after like several minutes.
So I would at least try to like walk by because he had told us where the two
Yeah.
taverns were. So I would at least try to go like not walk into the Filthy Seal,
Yeah.
but at least walk towards it
Mhm.
just to see if I could see him working, whatever, see if it was a place that I could potentially step into. But he would. I'm assuming this is going to be a role because he wouldn't just go walking into this filthy bar having just gone to this like nice inn and tavern.
They see you, and they look you up and down. You're a Westerner.
I'm sure it would be bad.
Yeah.
No, we
They
don't
look you
take
up and
kindly
down.
to your tap around.
Yeah, like and he's
yeah.
and like I said, I mean he would have been standing like kind of
Yeah,
he
like,
wouldn't
you
be
know.
right at the door. He's like
Yeah, no,
it's
no,
like
no,
that
no,
guy
no,
across
no,
the
no,
street,
no.
like
Yeah,
like
he's just looking at you
rubbernecking
like,
into it.
Trying to get into
as
the
soon
club.
as you're looking like this, oh, they're like, no. And you do not see Gon. And Gon, you are in a back room, way in the back.
I imagine it's way in the back, filled with smoke, prostitutes,
100%.
drug processing. He's just
It's you don't just see him. But yeah, so you walk past and you don't see Gon.
Okay. Then he would make at least a loop around to the temple.
Okay.
Now having at least secured a place to sleep for the night and knowing, I mean, I'm assuming my conversation took maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, like total, right? So I'm probably, if it was noon, 30 minutes of the first, it's probably like 1:30 as I'm walking around taking that look. So I would hit the temple.
Okay.
Walk up to the everyone at the temple, and walk up seeing the Westerner guards, and Heil brother or Heil sister, whether it's whatever.
Yeah. And they're both male.
Zig Heil.
They're both male, and they fucking do that. Clap their hand over their heart. They nod at you and says, "Please enter, brother, and may you seek shelter from the fallen."
I will. I actually have an engagement at the moment, having just kind of gotten fresh off the boat. I might have secured work, so I want to make sure that I'm not late to that. But I'm supposed to meet. So I think he would have done this like right at 3:00, like 30 minutes after 3:00, right? I'm supposed to be meeting somebody I just gotten off the boat with, who I don't know. We kind of seemed to bond as much as you could. Prison boat, handcuffed together,
Understood, brother.
And if you see a northerner, tall, black tooth, oily hair, oily skin, torn clothes, wide face. I mean, wide freaking face. You see somebody like that, would you be willing at all to at least tell them, I'm staying tonight at the first farm south of town. I'll meet with him in a couple days at this spot at noon.
Well, brother, we close the temple at night, every night, and we just keep watch at night from potential burglars. We don't really keep a lookout for people as far as appearances, so it'd be very difficult for us. But if we did so, we would let you know. You looked at
Perfect. Worst case, I'll be back in town in a couple days. I'll find him then. But I appreciate, and the minute I get back, I gotta get in here. I gotta come in and take a look around. But I do appreciate it. And then he'll kind of to rush off Heil and start taking off. Right. I don't know that.
Cool.
He's kind of that same idea. He wants to figure out a way to get money, so he's gonna start hoofing it.
All right. As we start huffing it, we're gonna huff it to a break, guys. So we'll see you in 15.
Cool.
After our break. So we'll see you then. And hopefully you guys are enjoying watching. This is a lot more of a much more grittier, slower paced game in general, guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and we'll catch you in a bit.
We are.
1. We're on.
We're live. Hey, live.
As our DM puts food in his mouth.
Har, 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 har.
I keep. I keep forgetting that that we get back faster than normal. So hey guys, so welcome. We had a bit of a break there, and we'll go back. All right. So we're gonna start off with Rodrigo because I know what Alex is gonna be doing. Rodrigo and Gon. So Gon, it's 5 p.m. right now. You're eating. You're being served dinner. Do you go?
Yeah, I think Gon, he finishes up the rest of the grinding, cleans the implements, keeps the whole place very tidy, and he leaves the shop. He's the last person to leave the shop. But yeah, he walks into the main room of the tavern and he's looking for food. He's new, so he's kind of scanning the area to just kind of see what the fuck everyone's doing.
And you see so the southern guy that you saw before would kind of wave you over. Like, come on our table, man. You see beside him is the very large 6'9" northerner that doesn't really say anything, and he's giving you stink eye. He goes over and several of the tavern witches are serving looks to be like a really hearty stew. This is definitely a beef stew because you imagine those Westerners are have something about page or something like that. Yeah, it's a really hearty beef stew with some potatoes, some celery, some carrots, and a side of really crusty bread.
How much he looks at his 5 sorry little coppers. He's like, how much for that?
Says this would be 1 copper piece.
I'll hand it over gladly and grab it. Walk over to the table and like prison style, he's got his arm like blocking the bowl, and he's leaning over it and just like looking up periodically, like eyeballing. Yeah. Wolfing
it isn't very choice cut beef, but it's still beef, still meat.
Yeah.
And it's a really thick, hearty stew, so it's not a very thin stew. So that's good. Kind of 60. And this is day-old bread, so fresh bread.
Heck yeah! Let me remove my copper. Are we adding that as experience? Any copper gain? Okay.
Any copper gain counts as 1 experience per copper.
Yeah. He saves the bread for last. That last little remnants on the bowl, he just sops it up, slides it not a single drop.
There you go.
Clean, literally
Cleans
washes
it.
the bowl with the bread.
Yeah, just
absolutely. And everybody's looking at you, and like people are definitely eating so much. Not everybody is, but you see like Rodrigo. And Rodrigo, he's eating like a large steak, some like side potatoes, some greens, and a large ale. And she would offer you
greens. Potatoes.
And she would offer you some ale as well. Like, would you like some ale?
He looks at it and I don't drink.
Okay. He says, "Well, I'll fetch you some water."
Please.
She would come out and give you a nice cup of cold water.
Yep, and he'll drink it. Yeah, he looks at everybody around him. He just wants his faculties about him. He doesn't want to make the wrong move or say the wrong thing because he's got a bad attitude, and he knows the way he gets when he drinks.
That makes sense. You see that your southern friend says, "Man, I heard you did pretty good today, man. I heard you outworked a lot of people in there, man." And says, "I knew you'd be a good member of the crew, man." And your friend from the south is literally snorting sashimi mushroom. He's like, "Man, you're fucking great, man.
Just getting lit." He looks to him and just kind of nods. He's like, "Yeah, good work. I'm happy to have the work, but."
Hey, you want some, man? I got some left.
No, I'm okay. I don't get high off your own supply, they say.
Well, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm a guard. He smiles. And he looks at you and he says, "Well,
Somebody in the back. Hey, guard! Them mushrooms hitting you that hard?"
it's just a bomb day." So you see that Rodrigo would wave over and attempt to flag you to come over.
He'll get up, kind of leave. He'll toss a spoon into the bowl. You hear it clatter, and then walks over and stands looking down at Rodrigo. And he's like, "Sir?"
He looks at you and he says, "I heard you did pretty good work today."
"I do my best."
He said, "Good. Well, I just want to let you know that man, my word, you could." He kind of points over there to like an open kind of like sectional of the couch, of like a corner couch kind of thing, and he says, he points to a couple windows and kind of snaps, and they kind of bring over like the pillows and things like that. And it says, whenever you want to go to bed, that's your spot right there. Everybody in my crew has a spot. That's your spot. And he says, "Welcome to the crew." And he gives his hand to you.
He'll slap his hand into it and give him a firm shake. And he's like, "Rodrigo, I have a question.
He nods.
Is this the only thing Is this the only thing you make in this operation?"
"Oh no, we deal in prostitution, little smuggling, and we also deal with flesh as well."
"I'm talking about the Tashim."
Oh, he says, "Oh yeah, no. So he also says he also deals in roca nut." Put that in chat. Give me a an intelligence check. What'd you roll? 18. Oh, okay. So you know that a roca nut is a kind of a large, almost like chestnut-sized nut. This nut is smoked and dried out. Once it is dried out, the outside, almost like shell of it, is very malleable. It is rolled up and smoked for a very intoxicating high. So that's one. That is roca nut is a much higher commodity in export. One, because of the amount of time it takes, whereas sashimi mushrooms, you just have to grind it up and put water, so it's cheaper. So it's more of a layman's man drug.
Yeah.
Roca nut is definitely much more mid tier. As far as high tier,
Crack, cocaine.
It's just it's this thing called
A hell of a drug.
It's called za. So this moss
Heroin.
here. Doing your fucking flat hole leg. It's like, hold on, are we selling drugs? Like, are you selling drugs?
I mean, we are selling fucking drugs.
We are selling drugs, but they're completely fake, people.
I want if you guys, I want you to go down to your local drug dealer and ask for Zaka Moss and see what he says.
He's all got that gas.
I got that roca nut, dog. What's that?
Hey, give me that roca nut. I need that roca nut.
He's like, close your eyes.
Hey, you want to put him? I'll give you a wet dream right quick.
Oh no!
Oh my God, holy!
Oh my God, dude, you got me on that one, Jesus.
So Zamas only grows in wet caves, specifically in the eastern archipelago chain. It only grows there. It only grows at a certain temperature at a certain point of the year, right after hurricane season. So only the very wealthy can afford it. And what happens is that this stuff here is simply just eaten. And once it's eaten, what's cool about it is it causes like your organs to illuminate from inside of your chest, and it causes this very soothing, almost like body high. And like people that are very old, feel like much younger while they're taking this moss. And because old people are typically speaking more wealthy than most people, they love this shit.
This is just a question I'm going to ask you, DM above table. Gone with his background as an herbalist, even though he's a novice, would he have any insights on new drugs or other ways to improve what they've currently got going on?
Yeah, so there are the degrees. So the girls that are kind of refining the sashimi mushroom don't have any actual training in it at all. They just are just kind of doing what they've seen someone that's actually trained do. Your stuff is a much more higher quality, right? So theirs is untrained quality. Yours is at least novice. Yours is very good to most people.
What if he made a suggestions like, look, I think we can cut the tashi mushrooms with something else and we can double the supply?
And he looks and says, give me an intelligence check before you say that, to see if you can come up with that idea of what you
Fair
need
enough.
to cut with it.
Fair enough.
Cut with it. But it is optional. No moss. As you are trying to think of ways to cut it, at least currently speaking, you don't know of any ways to cut with sashimi mushrooms. It's probably possible because you definitely heard of it, but you don't know the exact composition to cut with it. But it's definitely possible.
He's just going to thank him pretty much. He's like, I appreciate the opportunity. I won't let you down. One day I'm going to take your job. And he just laughs.
And says, good, that means you be a hard worker and make money. He says, yeah, man, keep cutting up that sashimi mushroom and you'll have a job here as long as you want.
He'll look at him. He's like, I don't mean to impose. You've already given me a lot of favors today. You have any tobacco?
Says, well, I do. Not free, of course. And he pulls out a nice little bag of dried tobacco. How much you willing to pay?
I've got a copper's worth. I'm just looking for a smoke. I haven't had one in 6 months. It's been a long time on that damn ship.
He says, well, give me your next day's wage. And you can have a pinch of it. And he pulls out a pinch.
That's how expensive it is out here.
He nods and says, the export fees, I'm sure you know, hard to grow here, the Southland. It's not very, it's tough, but if you want it or not, he looks at you.
No, I think I'm going to have to pass, boss. That's a little too rich for my blood, and I need a decent pair of shoes and something to protect myself with. I have a question though. You know anybody who can get me a good blade?
How good are we talking?
Good enough to protect me, enough to stick a man, and he dies before I do.
He says, everybody in my crew gets at least a dagger. He says, flags over somebody over there. He says, where is Bobby? Grab his knife. He's in the back. He got by the guards. Popped his lip. They killed him. We gotta bury him, but grab his dagger and they rush back there. You gain a 1d4 dagger. It is iron. It is I think it's 2 out of 3, so it's not a very good dagger, but
2, 3, 1d4. Cool. Let me add it to my shit, and all right.
It looks like a shiv, basically. It looks like a long shiv.
1d4. He pulls it out and he's
took a
like,
piece of angle iron and sharpened it up. And
it's just got cloth
wrapped the rope around it.
Yeah, cloth wrapped around. He's like,
100%.
he looks at it, runs his thumb against the edge. It's mostly dull, but the tip is sharp. He's like, it'll do. Appreciate it. And he'll conceal it kind of in the back of his pants and walk away.
not. And then we're going to go over to Alistair. So, Alistair, you were talking to, I believe.
Making his way south to the farm.
Oh, yes, that's right. 'Cause you already talked. Okay, yeah. All right, so making your way south, it is after 3. So, what time did you leave exactly?
Well, he would have waited probably in his head what felt like 30 to 45 minutes.
Mm,
And then must have found something and just started heading. So 3:30, 3:45, somewhere in there.
makes sense. So you head over there. So then you get there around 4:30.
Okay.
As you get over there, you see that Garen's farm is a relatively small farm, maybe about 10, 15 acres, maybe,
Okay.
of land. You see on it is definitely a collection of, definitely a lot of root vegetables around his routine. And you also see that there are several cows, and you also see a pig, a western pig, which you know the ones that can talk. That is also, which you know, western pigs are able to actually help with farm work because of their tusks. They just rip vegetables out. And that's why they're kind of. That's why also why westerns are just so good at farming is the pig just literally just rip the shit out of the ground. Much better than most beasts of burden, but they don't have that many of them. So there's various cows and 1 or 2 pigs that are definitely doing some farm work with a variety of people, not just Westerners, but Southerners, Easterners, Northerners, and all of them just kind of working.
How many people roughly are working the farm?
I'd say 10.
10?
Yep. You see that 10 people just definitely, like, somebody's definitely behind the plow, or behind the cow that's pulling an iron plow. You see a variety of other animals. Well, too. You see like a chicken coop, geese, things like that. Here's a variety of other animals as well too. And as you kind of approach, you would see that come out of like the only really house there, and it's not a big house, maybe like 2 stories, right? 2-story, almost like farm cottage kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this man come out, Garen come out, and he says, "Well, I'm glad you made it. Night was coming very quickly, and you made it before nightfall."
Yeah, I told you I'm eager to take a look, at least see what we're working with. See what I can do to help you out with this cow.
Okay.
And he kind of is sort of picking at his rations, like not really truly eating it now that it's around dinner time. He's sort of just picking picking little pieces off and like nibbling.
Right, makes sense. And he will lead you over to the barn. He says, "Follow me." He'd open up the barn, and you see that there is total maybe like I'd say like 6 cows, and one of them you definitely see is kind of like mooing in pain, and you kind of go back there and see that is definitely a female cow, or that's a female cow, and you see that its hoof. If you look at it, it's a small crack in the hoof hole.
Okay. So so he'd look at it. Does Garen follow me, or does he introduce me to the any of the like the supervisor, or does anybody follow me into the barn?
So Garen personally takes you over to the barn, and he shows you the cow, and then he's just by the door looking at you.
Okay. So I would probably do a full inspection of the cow, not just the hoof, just a full on inspection. I'm assuming with the animal handler background that there would be at least a slight bit of veterinary background to it.
Yes,
I'm not saying like I could like do surgery or anything, but just at least.
But you have basic understanding of how to treat animals in general.
Yeah.
So give me an intelligence check.
Okay. 17.
Very nice. So you see that this animal here is maybe about 9 years old. So not young, not old either.
Yep.
This cow has definitely been overworked, and you see that even some of the other cows go through, they're definitely overworked.
Okay.
These cows definitely just been worked too hard for just the amount of. I mean, just work very hard. You think that the overwork has caused the hoof horn that she's having to be worn down significantly faster than what it would be normal.
Perfect. Any is there any like veterinary-ish tools like antiseptic, wraps, anything like that in the barn anywhere?
Not offhand that you see.
Okay. And you said so. I kind of with that intelligence check, I kind of understand that about how many cows were here?
6.
6. Ooh, that's okay. So once I see that, I'll just walk up to Garen, and sort of kind of stand up tall, and again, it's kind of booming voice kind of echoes out, not truly intentionally, but will echo out of them.
Okay.
You are overworking these cows if you are expecting 6 cows to plow 10, 13, 14 acres of field. That's your biggest issue at the moment. Are you utilizing, kind of look over his shoulder at the pigs? Are you utilizing the pig at all too, or is it a pet?
He works when he wants to work. I was told that 6 would be enough. I didn't know it was a problem. We looked at you.
6 cows to try to plow is a little light.
And we're also down a cow as well. One of them was pregnant. She just gave birth.
Correct.
So
Well,
5 really.
Cows will do about 3/4 of the work of an actual bull. In all reality, what you really need to do is either get a bull or have a few more cows. The cow that's coming up lame and it's looking like it's going to start happening to the rest of them shortly. They're being overworked and you're wearing down the hoof horn. You're getting right down to that wick. That's why she's going to come up lame. You got to give them time to relax.
Give me a charisma check at advantage.
Okay. 1, 2.
Hey,
20.
Nat 20.
Nat
First
20,
one of the game.
20.
With a twin.
With a 20. With 22 we
Alistair
so-
O'Malley.
So Garen looks at you and he says, "Well, I just thought all cows were that. I didn't know a bull and a cow. I just said get some cows and go to work. That makes more sense. You saved me a lot of money if these cows would have went lame. The best I can do is at least."
I can help a little bit with that too. If you have just a few vet supplies, we can at least get that foot wrapped. Try and get it to.
I can get some vet supplies, and he called over a supervisor, and says, "Daniel." He guys rushes over, and he says, "Yes, boss. Go to the town and go to." Go to John's Tinctures and go get some antiseptic and what else? He looks at you.
Get antiseptic, get a wrap, and if they have any sort of wooden block, something that you can set under the inner half of the hoof, to keep the weight off the outside, off the crack.
I never thought about that. We get that as well. And he runs off, and he's gonna be off for 2 hours. Fast forward, he does say that I do owe you a large debt for need help me at least help save my cows from being lame. I didn't know that it would cause this much damage to them or potential damage to them. He would hand you not only the 2 copper pieces, but he would also hand you an additional copper piece for every single cow that you definitely would, give them thing about. So total, it is 8. Um, and he hands you a blanket, and he points behind the barn, and there's a large pile of hay where you definitely probably restock the barn for the animals, the bedding and things like that. And he said,
Yep.
"This is fresh hay. You can sleep in there before we use it for tonight."
Well, I appreciate it. I'd be more than happy to help with a few of the other animals around here too that could also take some of the strain off your cows. I mean, you say that pig likes to only work when he wants to, but I think he might be able to help you a little more than you think if you're willing to, you know, take me on.
He looks at you and he says, "Yeah, he works when he wants to work. He kind of sleeps. I talk to him here and there, but he says he gets sleepy." And it's the
That's
talk.
pretty that could be pretty standard of him, but we might be able to pull a little more, get him to pull his weight a little more. Wouldn't hurt to try, right?
He nods and says, "Well, by all means, if you can talk some sense to him, talk some sense to him because he doesn't listen to me." And he just kind of says, "Well, I've handing you a blanket and the 8 copper pieces for that. To treat the cow or the calf, give me another intelligence check."
Okay.
So,
16.
nice. Very nice. You successfully wrap and tend to the wound of the hoof wound. She can't put a lot of pressure on it. She put more pressure than what she normally could to kind of move. You think that this will give her time to actually put some pressure on it to recover in the coming weeks.
And I would also I'd kind of take some of the hay. I know he didn't ask about doing it, but he would take some of the hay and try to just stack it up in there for her, give her at least a little bit of a nicer cushion to help stand on as well.
Yeah, I mean, he looks at you and he says, you definitely are more useful than the stable hands we had before. So by all means, hay is a lot cheaper than a new cow. So by all means, do what you need to do. And he says, "Thank you, and I'll talk to you in the morning about the job that I have in mind and what you can kind of do. Because I think you seem like a straightforward and a hard worker, someone that knows their stuff, and I can use a man like that." He looks at you.
Right. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's an hour back to town, no matter what, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
about 9. It's like 9 a.m. 9 p.m.
Yeah.
now.
9 p.m. So he'll finish the ration, sort of, kind of looking at it, sort of with disgust. And just before Garen walks off, is there a well or a place I could get a drink? Just some watch something.
Oh yeah,
It's a long walk out here.
Yeah, there's a well outside, and he says right by the house, the house on the other side of the house. So there's the barn, the house, and then the well. On the left side of the house is the well. It has the pail cranked. You can definitely kind of crank up some nice fresh water.
Perfect. So he'll do that, drink deeply from that, and then he'll lay down in the hay, like make a little, using as little amount as possible because he knows that it can contaminate. So really kind of pack himself into a small ball and sleep for the night.
All right, we're gonna go over to Gone. It's about something 6 p.m. after you eat dinner and talk with Rodrigo. Here you have a shiv. What would you like to do?
6 o'clock, I think. At that point, after everything's said and done, he tucks the shiv in his back. He realizes that he forgot to check in with his bud, and he's going to head out into the open air of the city and kind of walk the streets. What do the streets look like at night? We're evening time. Paint the picture. Let me
go ahead and close your eyes. So the streets are full and lively. this place is a cultural melting pot, a variety of cultures and styles and music's playing. It's the beat of the drum as you see people dancing out there, more Southerners and Westerners, singing and dancing. Um, Easterners, Eastern things like that are playing dominoes and joking about boats, things like that. People are wrangling kids in. You see people are putting up a variety of sound, things like that, and people are. It's like the daytown is slowly winding down as the nightlife kind of opens up. You see a lot more shiftier people kind of in strange corners or in strange alleyways in between buildings. You see the guard. There's a lot more guards at night than during the daytime, and traveling in 2 and 3 man patrols. You see people doing strange deals in alleyways as well. This place is dark and dangerous, but you see there's much opportunity here for those that are willing to take it.
He walks out into the open and noticing all of this activity, he kind of he draws the weapon into his palm to kind of where the blade is like underhanded, and he's got it kind of concealed. This is more of like a bit of a paranoia. He's just a stranger in a strange land situation.
Absolutely. Never been here before.
And so he's just on high alert looking, but he'll make his way past the Temple of the Three, and he'll take a glance at it, remembering he saw his friend kind of bow in reverence to it, but pass beyond it to the meeting point and just kind of sit there and wait, looking around for him.
As you wait looking around, give me a D20 call higher low.
And say hi. Nope.
It seemed like the temple was already kind of closed before you got there. They might have either closed early tonight or maybe it's the time they normally close. And as you kind of wait around here, you see that a couple of guards kind of begin to say, "Hey, are you lost, partner? Why are you by here?"
I'm looking for somebody. Have you seen him? Goofy looking guy. He's got blondish brown hair, about this tall.
That sounds like every Westerner I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But Alistar, he's good with that. Animals. He was fresh off the boat with me. There weren't a lot of them off the boat with me that looked like him. So rags, smelled like shit.
It's like, I'm trying to find the.
He told me he was going to the Windy Hawk. He's looking for some kind of farmer guy.
And as he motions out, he's like, I don't it's not ringing any bells. It's not.
He just looks to him. Are you asking me to bribe you?
Oh no, I'm just having my hand out here. I'm having an issue here. Remember, when I touch copper coins, it kind of restarts my memory. So if I had any more copper coins, I could probably kind of restart my memory.
If I had more to spare, he's not that important. He'll show up one of these days.
He says, "All right, well then move along."
He'll move back into the town and kind of wander. He's going to pace around, head south into the city.
Give me a D20 as you pace the town, because the freaks come out at night.
He's a freak too. 19.
Woo!
Let's see here. Hey, it's no good or it's not woo woo.
Might not be woo.
Hey, it's close to a 20. It's always a woo. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad.
You get sniped from the alleyway.
So
a rifle shot echoes through the.
It's fucking AK-47. It's like, hold on.
You hear the casing clink on the ground. Oh shit!
You're a fucking Hammer of Dawn, the 6-year-old. Like, oh, the wrong universe. But yeah. So as you're kind of walking here, you see that Several kids. These kids have to be no older than 13. Rush out with rusty clubs, misshapen silverware, and large rocks. Rush out and it says, "Give me all you got, you Northerner!" And they come out rushing out. It's maybe like 4 or 5 of them.
4 or 5 of them, little kids.
These children look like whoreborns. They're forgotten. Just leftovers.
Do I see, looking at them, who's the smallest of the bunch?
The smallest, I would say, is maybe like 5.
He's going to snatch him up by the back of his collar, like, and try to make a scene of it, basically. Just snatch him up, and he's like, "Don't you fuck with me."
Give me a charisma check. And this goes out on if you roll initiative or not. Ooh!
He's got that +4 on it.
With the 20, as these kids rush out, you quickly move forward and grab him. Grabbing him by the neck, he begins to turn red as you say, "What are you doing?" He scrambles. The other kids open their eyes, shocked, wide, in fear and terror, and begin to run away immediately, leaving their friend to the wolves.
What's your name, boy?
This boy here is a southerner. Short, rough, dirty hair, unmatted. And he says his name is Tahiri.
Tahiri, huh? You make a habit of this? You and your buddies?
He says, I'm trying to eat.
Yeah, I believe it. Does he have a weapon in his hand?
He had a rock.
He's going to grab the rock and just kind of toss it aside like Tahiri. He puts him down but holds him by his wrist. Tell me about this place. And he bends down on his haunches to like meet him eye to eye. What do you know? What do you know about Rodrigo?
The guy that works at the Filthy Seal?
Yeah.
Well, he's the boss. I know that he has the biggest gang in town.
Who else is? Are there any other gangs in town?
Oh, just small little cliques. I wouldn't call them really gangs. They're just groups of people. But his is a real gang. Like he has like employees and stuff. It's crazy. We just are just hungry. He looks at you.
I'll tell you what. You tell your friends I'm good people. And he pulls out a copper piece. And he's like, he goes to hand it to him, but pulls it back at the last second. He's like, look, I don't want you guys coming after me or my friends, and I'll let you know. But I do have a question. Where's the next town from here? How far is it?
Well, there's a small village to the south of here, but it's ran by Easterners. I wouldn't go there, and it is. I'm gonna fuck this name all up. I'm gonna
type it.
It's like Quanazupe. That sounds.
Quanazupe?
Hold on. I'm gonna speak new name. Eloko. El Coro. Okay. I'm putting chat, bro.
Type that shit out, bro.
Elokoro.
Ilokoro.
Depends. Is it considered Spanish? Is the double L the Y?
Yokoro? Maybe. Is that an IL or is it LL?
It's an IL.
Ilokoro. Yeah. Well, you typed it. You fucking tell us.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's like, okay. I have one last request. You leave me and my friends alone, but he thinks for a second, kind of looking around. Where are the women at?
Well, they were where the filthy seal.
That's it? There's no good ladies around here? No good northern ladies?
I mean, it's some there too. I mean, you'd have seen some.
You're just a boy. You don't know anything. He'll hand him the copper, and he's like, he'll basically kind of toss him to the side by his wrist, and he's like, "Go, tell your fucking friends don't to bother me anymore."
As soon as you toss him to that, he's full on Usain Bolt. He is not turning around. He's fucking literally like fucking Forrest Gump, like Forrest Gump when
he's gonna get it.
When he broke the fucking spine there on his back.
It's
run,
the
Forrest,
gun. The gun. He's sprinting, 100-meter dashing.
Run, Forrest.
And look at this guy. Shift Z on this guy. He's an ugly son of a bitch. He's like.
Yeah, this guy looks like fucking like a Dynasty Warriors villain, dude.
Yeah, he's not fucking around with you.
He looks like
wide-faced.
He's not a joke. But yeah,
he'll let the kid go.
Yeah, he runs off, and you gain 50 experience points.
I'll take it.
Also, what I forgot to say, you also get additional 50 experience points, and also you gain an additional 50 experience points as well. Alistair, I keep forgetting to word those things.
A 50 in addition to the 50 you just gave me?
Yep. So 100 total.
Cool.
Yeah. So Jay, you just
105.
I just had the 50.
Yeah, but we're heading around town, kind of looking for the different shops. Really, there's a lot of buildings and just different things, just scoping out the place.
So you would notice Victoria's Tankard is a large brewery here. Let me describe that to you as well. Let me paint a picture for you because I got some descriptions here. Here we go. This brewery is a lively place filled with the sound of laughter and the smell of freshly brewed ale. It is located on the edge of the village and was a popular gathering place for the locals. The brewmaster is a jovial man with a twinkle in his eye and a smile on his face. Spending his days brewing huge vats of boiling wort, adding hops and other ingredients to create his signature ales. This brewery is always busy with people coming and going to purchase the brewmaster's delicious creations.
He looks into the place. He's like, it looks like a great place. But he'll move on. He does, although he likes drink, he decides it's best that he stays sober because he does not feel safe at all in this town.
That's fair. Makes sense as well. And you're going along as well too. I mean, you would have passed the Explorers Guild, so let me tell you about that. Well, I mean, you would know about it in character. So the Explorers Guild is a place where brave heroes and adventurers gather and plan their quest and share get some story and information with each other. It's a bustling, lively place filled with sounds of clinking tankards and sounds of really loud adventurers. These walls of this place are adorned with maps and relics from past adventurers. The area is filled with the smell of ale and sweat. At the center of this hall is a massive fireplace where adventurers gather to warm themselves and tell tales of their exploits. This guild is run by a council of seasoned adventurers that oversee the recruiting and training of new members. You know that's how all adventurers in the Explorers Guilds work. So that's not like that's how you always get work, even in the northern. And yeah, that's kind of what you would know. This place is probably the biggest building here. Maybe the second biggest building here. There are no guards in front of the adventurers place because the people that tend to be adventurers are very skilled and
they can take care of themselves.
They can take care of themselves.
Seeing that, he's going to approach the door. Seeing all of the adventurers, he does he respects it and he wants to know a little bit more. He knows about the adventures in his own lands, the tales that they had, the heroics. One of the values of the people of the North is that they are brave and they will seek challenge and adventure. So he pushes the door open and walks through, bowing his head underneath the door frame.
And you see that a northern woman waves, hilariously enough. Hail! And you see that she wears a much more lighter, traditional kind of northern outfit. You think of definitely clothes for the more summery months. So it's kind of like the picture of what the you know, it's very similar to this. Without the hat, because I think the hat is ridiculous above table. I'm culture or not, I don't hate the guy. That's just it just seems not functional.
I drink from the skulls of my enemies.
And you fucking get sucked in the fucking airplane decks like fucking Incredibles. But regardless of that, she motions to come in and says, "Are you new? Are you one of the prisoners? Or are you kind of immersed here?"
I am new, but I've been waiting my whole life to see you. And he's going to move across.
Literally rolls her eyes.
Slides in. He's like.
She rolls her eyes like, so I see that.
Gives her
you're a bard.
The grossest grin possible. Just fucked up teeth, greasy hair. He slicks back and he's like, "Tell me of this place, woman."
I imagine you like taking your hair to do this, and then
and all
taking
the grease from
the grease from your hair and doing this to your eyebrows to lay them flat.
Gotta lay them down. They gotta lay them flat.
He does the one hand.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh my god! Holy guys! She sees this and says, "Can I tell you a story of my tribe?"
Yes. Tell me.
I'll tell you. So we use this thing called charcoal, and we use it to scrub our teeth, and it gets rid of all kinds of strange smells and rot from the teeth we have. I suppose that your tribe didn't quite find any where they were from.
Woman, if I had such luxuries, I would have done it. But I live a harsh life, a man's life, a warrior's life. Don't tell me about these things.
Warriors that don't know how to pillage for the finer things in life. I'm a warrior as well, I'll have you know. I fought on the side of my brother, and I've killed many a man in my life. But this is an adventurers guild. We hold various quests and tasks for those that have the balls and the skill to take them. Are you interested?
Tell me, what do you have in stock?
Well, there is a farm out there towards the south that is dealing with wolves that come and kill, not wolves, coyotes, that come and kill their hens in the dead of night. They're looking for someone that can go find these coyotes and kill as many as they can and bring back their heads or them as recompense. They're paying 5 copper pieces per head of these coyotes that they find. That's one for a much more novice adventurer like yourself.
He strokes his mustaches and kind of twirls the ends in his fingers like, this seems good. What else do you have?
He says, well, if you have real balls, there is some goblins to the south that have raided some caravans between Ikuda and Zajira. You can take out a goblin. Looks a couple of them. Here's some serious coin. They said there's 10 gold pieces for a pair. 10 copper pieces, not gold pieces. Copper pieces for a pair of goblin ears. That's money. You're willing to take it. But goblins don't really come alone, and they're usually very plentiful.
How does this work? Do I sign my name, or do I show up with ears?
Oh no, there's no signing of names here. No one claims it. If you succeed, you succeed.
This is good to know. He'll make a note of it mentally, and he'll look around, seeing everybody enjoying themselves. He's a bit of a loner, so he'll walk out and head back as it's getting a bit late.
Yeah, it's at this point it's about like 9, 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
He's going to go and find rest on his sketchy, dirty couch that he's all the other. He's going to go find his spot.
Yeah.
Someone's sleeping, and he's going to push them off and then
Absolutely.
rest for the night.
All right, and and that means I would say for that bit, find more information that gets you an additional 50 experience points.
Sweet.
Awesome sauce there. And we're gonna go cut back to and wrap it up with Alistair. So, sir, you wake up in the morning. I love this shit because I have totally different times and not fuck shit up.
I like to run it that way too. I just do initiative, and I'm like,
as long as it's on the same day,
Yeah.
as long as it's on the same day or like with the same 12-hour scale, I think it works. So you wake up in the morning, Alistair, bright and early. You know, as you know, as a farm, they're waking up at 4:30.
Hearing the rooster crow and the farm hands start to get out to work, he rustles out of the hay next to the barn, sort of sits up, shakes his head, hears stomach rumbling.
And you hear the smell of smoked sausages coming from inside of the house, and you hear a bell, ding, 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 ding. Breakfast ready.
He smells it and immediately leans over and pukes. The like dry heaves next to the barn. Like you just hear him.
Yeah.
Gets up, like runs to the well to just water. Like essentially like try to fill himself with water because the food somewhat smells good, but it's still disgusting to him. So he just starts like hammering water down.
It's like, oh god, this is like gross. And seeing that, Garrett kind of motioned for you to come over and says, yeah, that's some of the laborers. They eat that pork stuff. I have some fresh kind of pancakes here. If you have it.
That would be better. Yeah.
Apricot spread here as well. He kind of motions and gives you, and he kind of sets you down. You see that at his table is a Southern woman as well, and it looks like there are 2 children here of I guess they're half breeds. I guess I don't know what to call it. They're mixed children.
Okay.
And you see that the Southern woman stands up and says, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Who is this, Garen?" And she kind of slaps him in the back of the head and says, he says, I am Jasmine. It's a pleasure to meet you." And she extends her hand to you.
Jasmine. Okay. Jasmine. Hi, I'm Alistair. I can't lie to you. I just got dropped off on the boat yesterday, but Aaron was nice enough to at least let me take a look at the almost lame cow that you had. And
are you the one that helped with those cows? Oh my goodness!
I am.
She gives you a hug. Immediately.
And she would feel him kind of almost flinch as she throws her arms around him just from the quickness of it from being on that boat. He just kind of flinches for a second before hugging her back delicately, like almost like that's like trying to turn himself sideways, like I don't want to be in trouble for this.
Right. And he pushes back and says, "Well, you can't be dressed like a damned criminal working for us." She says, "Why do you offer him some of your old clothes? What are you doing?" "I didn't know. What? He looked fine." She goes back there and she gives you, these are definitely Westerner clothes. These things have been out of style for like 20 years. These things,
big old bell-bottom pants.
These things are just ancient looking. He said, "Man, I wore these back when I was 19 when I met you.
Back when I was hip, this was all the rage."
He said, "Yeah, my first kid wasn't even born yet." All of a sudden, when she would hand you the clothes and some actual shoes that are actually better than the kind of slip.
Let's go.
and cloth
Thank-
slippers.
Thank you. That is entirely gracious of you. I don't know what to say.
And he says, "Well, thank you for saving my back end. And if we would have lost those cows, I would have put a serious dent on the farm. So we thank you for helping us there. That being said, we would like you to get started. Well, he said, I would like you to get started. If you can check on some of our goats and see how they're doing. Some of our other kind of not cattle, you know what I'm talking about. See how they're doing.
I will do a sweep of the farm. I'll take a look at the chickens, take a look at the goats, have a little conversation with the pig, see if there's any supplies that with not to overstep my bounds for first aid, but just make sure supply wise we're good to ensure the health of these animals, and see what we can do from there. Is that okay with you? And
he nods and says, absolutely. I like a man that takes initiative. And he says, and he says, you can't miss it. Beside the barn is the chicken coop, and then beside the chicken coop is the goat pen. They all kind of like just a massive line. You really can't miss it.
down the line.
I just go down the line. You really can't miss it. But
is there a tack or a livery back in town in case there's something that we might need to ensure the health and safety of your livestock?
Yeah. It's something similar. So any kind of thing you might need, you can definitely probably find it. As far as basic amenities, whether it be tincture, whether it be general goods, or any kind of special thing you might need to be built by a carpenter, those are there as well. Anything you could probably need to be built by hand or custom, anything like that. The town has the basic amenities of a normal town. So, city.
Perfect. Any dangers or anything I should be worried about out here? I'll be honest though. Coyotes. Anything in case I'm out with the livestock, anything I can use to protect myself and the animals? And
I got something for you. Hold on. He turns and goes in the closet, and he gives you a shepherd's staff.
What is that?
That's gonna be a D6
like a
weapon.
Quarterstaff, basically.
Yeah,
like a quarterstaff, basically.
Yeah,
okay.
Quarterstaff, yeah. Is a quality of 1 out of 3. This thing, if you hit it enough, it's gonna break. So, not the best quality. And it's a D6, and it's two-handed.
Yeah. 1 of 3, two-handed. Alrighty. Well, this should at least work for now. I'm usually better at range, but I'll make this work, and it'll kind of set the staff down, test it a little bit, and say, well, I should, kind of nibbling on the food. He's not one to like eat just heartily, especially in this situation. He sort of nibbles. He's kind of one of those like, a little bit goes a long way for him, and he like I should at least get to work, so that way if I have to get to town, it's I know it's a long walk, so he'll just kind of I will, before I have to do anything, I will come and talk with you. But I hate to ask the question up front, but it's a little weird because I only have, and he kind of pulls, besides the little bit of food that he has, he kind of pulls this little sack out of his pocket of the barely left rations from the day before. To be able to buy food, if you employ me as this, you feed me and give me a place to stay for my service, or is there pay?
He nods and he says, I'll just make sure you weren't some kind of bandit or something like that the first night. But our workers have a workhouse that they kind of live in on the farm, and we do feed them here. The pay isn't great, but it does come with room and board and food.
I will not complain about that in the situation I'm in. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and he'll kind of do a short bow to his now employer, and we'll start heading off, and we'll check at all. He'll literally just walk all through every one of the farm animals, leaving the pig for last.
If you go to the hens, give me a intelligence check.
Okay. Don't know much about chickens.
No, you do not. The chicken coop is rather large. It fits maybe like 50-ish. So it's a rather large chicken coop here.
Doing good with the 7 chickens you got in this big coop. I think we'll move on.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There's like one dead in the corner.
Yeah,
Everything was good.
Literally.
It works out. It's like one just hanging from the ceiling, eating each other. But there's also some geese as well too. That's kind of just walking around. Give me another intelligence check here. These geese here, you know that their wings are clipped, so they can't really fly.
Okay.
You know that there are about 10 of them here.
Okay.
And probably all from the same family. And yeah, that's pretty much all you really know. You don't know if they're like herding them or not, but you know that they're just there. And let's go over to the goats. Give me another intelligence check.
There you go.
A 19.
I know goats better.
Closer to
closer to pigs.
Closer to the pigs and cows. Yeah.
There you go. With a 19,
They're hooves.
you know that these goats here are actually very healthy. They don't do very much work. They just kind of run around and play. And these goats specifically are for shearing. They grow a very large amount of wool, and it is about time for them to be sheared because summer is approaching.
Okay.
You
Perfect.
as a handler know that goats get sheared either once or twice a year, depending on the sheer number of them.
Yep.
And these goats here are massive. I'm like maybe like 200 pounds.
Do they have a shear house, or do they just do it if it's just a goat pen? Is there a shear house, or is it just the pen that they're in and they shear it and move the wool? Okay.
It's the pen they're in.
Okay.
And EMC, the spot for it is kind of a bare kind of wooden planked area there, so that way the wool isn't damaged by like dirt and mud and things like that. So that way it can affect the sell price. That they probably clean up, when they're shear. So you have a spot for it there. These goats are very healthy. You can see that their horns aren't about to stab them in the face or anything like that. So their horns are definitely well taken care of, things like that.
Okay.
Like I said, and then
the last thing he'd walk up to the pig. He'd walk up to, and he'd just sort of kneel down next to it, and
pig is sleeping. He's sleeping.
He'll kneel down next to it and sort of just put his hand on it and kind of bow his head, like thinking back to sort of the time that he had out in the West beforehand, walking through the open fields, seeing all the pigs just kind of roaming. He'll put his head down and he'll just sort of kind of whisper to it, like, how did you, trying to kind of shaking it to wake it up, like, how did you end up here? I need to understand your
he like 5 more minutes.
No, 5 more minutes. Don't you smell that sausage earlier? You want to become that? Wake up. I need to understand how you got here. What?
It oinks.
Sweet.
He's like, hold on. And this thing also, to the Shards too, guys. So Western pigs are these massive, almost like furred, more like boars, because they're very large furred pigs. What happens is that they have these massive tusks that kind of come down and up, like almost like what's that blade? Like Curies? Where it's like a massive.
Curious?
Yes. You know that in the West in the past, in times of war, that they armor themselves and their boars, and their boars can cut through iron. Their tusks can cut through iron like nothing. Just machine just ridden through it. These things are 5 feet tall. They're about 700, 800 pounds.
Jesus.
Think of like a small walrus. These things. Actually, it's probably close to 1,000 pounds. Actually, it's like 5 feet tall. Yeah, so about 1,000.
That's a big ass war.
Ridiculously huge.
Yeah. These things are big. But because
so I guess I stand with my hand.
Yeah, I want to say they're like probably I was like, hey, bud. I mean, because why? They got to be like 3.5 feet wide, like 3, because they're a pig. So yeah, this thing's massive. And it's very warm. It's very nice. He says, well, what's your name? And he calls you brother, because pig also calls you brother. So.
Yeah, brother. It's Alistair O'Malley.
Says, name's Dennis.
Dennis? So how did you end up here?
Well, I was the family pig of Garen and his family, and he decided to come here to start a new life and start a new venture. You might know this, but there was a land sickness in our village, and most people fled, and Garen was one of the less well-off families, so we decided to hop on a boat here and start a new life here in this new land.
And you were a family pet, or did you work? Have you worked since being here?
I work every day.
Doing
stuff. Like I go to the field, I tear up some vegetables here and there. I eat a couple too on the way. I get tired because it's a lot of work. I take naps. I protect the animals from coyotes. I think I do a lot.
Coyotes. This is the second time I've heard of coyotes. Do they have above table DM? Do they have? Yeah. Is it a big fence around the whole farm, or is it just like do they just have the barn?
Fence. It's the animal fence. So you think that they don't have the manpower and the money to actually get like a true fence around the 10-acre land?
Right.
So you think that they just have the simple animal fence? The plank, 2 bars, plank.
Yep. Simple.
Simple fence.
Okay.
At best.
So how long has Garen actually been here? Because
about 10 years.
Maybe 10 years seems to be doing okay. But I think we could do better, don't you?
Well, Garen's a simple man. As long as he's doing well enough to take care of his family and his people that work for him, he's fine. He's not an ambitious man.
Well, I think we can do better. What are you fed okay? Is your nutrition good? Because if you're that tired all the time, so you're overeat. Got it. And I just start walking off to go find Garen.
He's like, okay. Wait. What do you mean? What are you gonna finish conversation?
He literally did that. That literally sparked it in his head. Like, okay, you're tired. If you eat great, then you're overeating. Having him say that he eats stuff out of the field, like he's immediately like, now I know what I have to do, and just goes.
He's got to go on the Weight Watchers.
All right.
Because in the back, so above in the back of Alistair's head, he's like, I have to get to town, so I can get what I need, and I know it's a 2-hour round trip.
Yeah,
so,
it makes sense.
I got you.
All right, so you go. All right, so you go to town.
Yeah.
So you go to town after an hour there, and what do you do?
So he's gonna go. Well, he would have talked to Garrison before leaving to tell him that.
Also, you get 100 experience.
No, sweet. He would go talk to Garrison before leaving to just tell him that he needs to get. It's gonna sound weird, but essentially he needs to get a muzzle for the pig when he's out in the field, so that way he won't eat, because since he's overeating, it's zapping all of his energy, which is why he sleeps all the time.
But are you sure? I mean, look, I don't want to put a muzzle on him. He's like a friend.
It's only when he's in the field, and the only reason we need to do it is with these coyotes. If you keep saying these coyotes, at some point they're gonna come in here and get your goats, your chickens, your geese. It's not gonna be good. So we just want to make sure that he's tip top. His hearing's there. We got to get him a little bit of training.
Give me a charisma check at advantage. Just makes way too much sense. To Karen. All right, with a 14, he looks and he says, "Dennis, you gotta lose weight. These coyotes has been a problem. We lost 3 chickens last week, but it was during lunchtime. It doesn't count. I gotta be alert during lunchtime?" He says, "There were at 3 different times. Not every time is lunchtime." He says, "Dennis, you gotta lose weight, buddy. Listen, I've known you all my life. You're like a brother to me, but you've got to lose weight. Also, you know that pigs live a comparable life to most humans."
Yep.
And kind of reaches down, pats him, and says, "Listen, I don't want to have to get the muzzle. I'm going to promise to try to lose weight before we go to more drastic measures like a muzzle. Count on me."
We could also there is some feed that I can put together, but you got to eat that feed. I'm not saying you got to lose 100 or 1,000 pounds here, just a little bit to keep your energy a little higher. Maybe 100, 150.
He doesn't like an obese pig.
Yeah.
He's a big. I mean, they're big, but he's a big boy.
Big, yeah.
Yeah. And he says, "All right, grain. I get carrots, stew. All right, grain this. All right." He shuffles off.
And so then I would just ask Aaron, with the way the diet is, I don't know how much you can, how you want to run it, but. And again, this is above table DM to essentially feed the pig on a diet. I don't know how much that feed would cost. I'm sure they have some, but and then he would start heading to town to pick up what he needed.
And I think, you definitely can do so. And they would just give you the list, and he on his account, and they would just give you back the grain needed.
Yep.
And with that, I think we will wrap up today's session with you going to town to get the feed, you waking up from your adventures, and we'll pick it up next week. So if you like, guys, for watching, really please like, comment, share, subscribe. This is a different kind of experience. It's a much more lower magic, grittier kind of system here. So killing things isn't always the first thing to do. So if you like it, because this is very graphic from play before, but if you like it, guys, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.